For them this afternoon, Paul Couch.
Certainly is, Dennis. They're just hanging on to the 8 there. Carlton going to certainly make them work hard today. Kudafidis and Ratton are certainly going to spoil their party, I believe.
Yes, pressure on them now for a place in the top 8 after Adelaide won last night. And what about Carlton playing in terrific
Injuries, Michael Sexton, in the last couple of years. All-Australian, 96, 97. And look, their back line today is very similar to the 95 premiership side. Christou, Rice, Silvani, Sexton, as we see on screen there, but Andrew McKay all work well in the back line there. Sensational player. He's been a great servant of Carlton side.
Yes, a warrior. No coincidence he debuted on Anzac Day. Okay, son.
The physiotherapist.
There we go. Yes, terrific.
There he
Michael
goes.
Sexton onto the MCG for game number 200, and the Blues have made the one change. Freeborn is back in their side. Obviously, they've got a high opinion of this young man.
Certainly have. He's going to be a handy player for him. But there you see Brett Ratton in screen. Sensational play.
Umpire Kennedy to bounce it down. Saturday football from the G. Simmons comes on his run, opposed to Allen, favours Simmons. He knocks it down, knocked on by McDonald, taken by Bradley. Ooh, taken high. Walsh clattered into him. Leoncelli takes the hand pass, kicks inside the 50. Farmer had it knocked away by Rice. Rice goes after it. Farmer goes after him. Silvani decides to collapse the pack by collapsing on it.
Too strong there. Too strong, Dean Rice there. Just pushed him off the ball, Jeff Farmer. And it's good to see Jeff Farmer actually in front of his man for a change when the ball's at the highest peak when it comes out of the centre bounce.
I thought he may have got a free kick. Silvani came in hard and caught him high, and I thought Jeff Farmer, we've got to be careful about guys being tackled when they're on the ground. Woden to Robinson. They'll share the ball around. Walsh has been very good this year. And Uze pinpoints it wide and finds Collins. Now he's on the point of the square. He's had a lot of injuries, Collins, and goes very, very short. So a great start. Simmons unloads and a great smother off the boot. That's what's made the Blues, and a great tackle as well. A second effort by Simmons. Hands and knees was hot and dragged to the ground. Simmons again the tackler. Woden goes in hard. They want a free kick. They'll get a ball up on 50.
Yeah, sensational smother here by Silvani. Textbook style. We just know he can do that all day. Just hard at it. Desperation stuff.
Bounce just outside the 50 then. One down by Allen. Stayed at his feet. Camporelli taken front on by Leoncelli.
Just on that bounce down, Dennis, you just saw the strength of Matthew Allen on the young kid, Troy Simmons. So you really got to rove to Matthew Allen today. The Demons would be knowing that.
Carlton bench. Hume on the left, Mansfield on the right. Good bounce too. Allen reaches over the top. Franchina. Kudafidis kicks it around the outer side. Close to the boundary line. Pushed across by Whelan. In front of Hickmott, who was so good last week.
It was interesting, Dennis, coming in. I met a couple of friends who don't barrack for Melbourne, don't barrack for Carlton. I said, how come you at the football today? And they said they've come to watch Kudafidis.
Well, that's great for footy, isn't it?
Yep.
Leoncelli had it knocked away, close to the boundary line once more. Running out of space is Powell. Taken across, and the boundary throw in. Still no score. Early going. Melbourne against Carlton.
I suppose the two things here is Jeff Farmer, if he can light up too. People come to see him, and also Anthony Kudafidis.
I think the Demons are a chance to win today. I know Carlton's been fantastic over the last 7 weeks, and Bradley, what an inspirational leader now, has been given the free kick. Just momentarily held from half back, but I think the Demons are a big chance. I thought they were terrific in the first half last week against the Bulldogs. Lappin has been so dangerous. Those quick hands didn't really hit a target. Camporelli, the shepherder. Hickmott, an underrated player. McKay has been magnificent. The All-Australian concedes ground. Bradley inside the centre square, a lot of quick hands, had to share the ball around. McKay pumps the ball back towards the half-forward line. Houghton. Ingerson, clever play with the body. Gets around Ratton, he's caught by Trent Houghton. And finally forced over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Well, there was no one down at centre half forward to kick to. Andrew McKay was in the gap there where he was going to kick the ball, but just had no option, so just hang on it.
Yeah, a lot of talk by his teammate to say, Ingo, pass it over, but just hang on to the ball too long.
Just trying to set it up. Sometimes you just can't always be the playmaker in AFL footy. And there's a mark taken by McDonald.
Leoncelli has started well. McDonald kicking inside the 50. It's a high one. Battling down there. Well, it doesn't matter. Silvani and Schwartz.
Well read by Rice. There was a one-on-one situation there. He just knew to take the lead and take the mark.
Kudafidis now playing centre half forward, and they just picked him up.
Rice kicking across to Franchina. He's on the wing. Knows a big man is chasing. Bought himself some time. Goes to Lappin, who played very well against the West Coast Eagles last Sunday. Lappin inside the centre square. Comes across to Beaumont. Needed to be further out in front. Beaumont checks, now runs on, kicks down towards the attacking 50. Well picked up, good hands from Allen. Back to Beaumont, right on the 50. This will turn the defence around. They're all headed back towards the goal line. Always gives the offence a chance, and Hamill takes the mark.
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry already. Matthew Allen's had a fair bit of influence on this game already. We've only been going 3.5 minutes. Simon Beaumont, long kick down. Hamill read it best. A confidence player early, Hamill. If he gets a few goals, he can play a very good game early. If you get him down early, he does struggle to work the game out.
Aaron Hamill, 19 goals on this season. Kicks from 10 metres out and puts it through.
It's just a start Carlton wanted. 4 minutes into the game and a goal. Results by Aaron Hamill. Good play there by Beaumont to square the ball up. Allen looks very dangerous up against Troy Simmons. Just a lot of inexperience there. Simmons, left foot by Beaumont. Well read through the air. Hamill and goal.
"20 goals for the season for Aaron Hamill. He really does have presence on the forward line for the Blues.
Cameron Bruce now on, and Robinson off for the D's.
Being picked up by Collins. Started his career with the Adelaide Crows. Woden has had a terrific season. Now the whistle has gone. Free kick is going to Melbourne. Woden was caught high. Puts his body on the line. It's been a real success story. He's never missed a game since joining the Demons in '96. Manton.
Yeah, good play, Bradley.
The helmet
back and help him.
Now, he wanted to play on. Bradley, equal to the task, pumps the ball back. A push out that time by Whitnell. Taken away by Koutafidis. Drills the ball down out in front is Houghton. Met it on the half volley. Whitnell runs hard towards centre half forward. Crashing his way through was Ingerson. He again didn't hit the mark. Powell goes to the ground. McKay, the tackler. Powell on hands and knees. Tries to get the ball out. Franchina paddling the ball along in front. But again, the Demons will take the free kick. Phoebe. Back edge of the centre square. The Blues. 1 goal, 6, and the Demons are yet to score. We've played 6.5 minutes inside this first quarter. Carlton defence standing up strong. Beaumont. It's been handy so far in this first term. Hickmott wants a free kick. The umpire allows play to go on. Leoncelli shares the ball around. Back to Leoncelli. Wobbles the kick forward. Coming out hard is Schwartz. The Ox playing in front. Had it and lost it. Tied up by Manton and Silvani. Loose ball. Pulled off the ball. Again was Uze. Hands and knees. Silvani tried to just crash the ball out. Unable to do so. Tough in the clinches. Running into some roadblocks here. Across the half back line. Picked up by Walsh. 50 metres out. Unloads. Big kick. He's kicked a goal.
And that is a good decision by the umpires to let the play just go on continually there. And Walsh, the opportunity, you have to knock the ball out clearly. That's the rule now. You can't hover over the ball. And it's a great rule here. Walsh was very good. Just outside 50. Matthew Allen was inside the goal square there on his own. But it was a great kick. Plays half-back flank, Peter Walsh, and plays it very, very well. Strong on the clinches, tough, hard player, and he's got the job on Scott Camporelli.
Emerging young talent, Peter Walsh, levelling the scores there. It's a goal apiece. Bounce back in the middle. Allen and Simmons, one down by Allen. Ratton coming off 40 possessions last week. Steers the ball down towards half forward. Strong mark by Houghton in front. Strong hands there. Jurgic right there, step for step. But Houghton in front, claimed it. 60 metres out, sets it up. Hamill missed it, misjudged it. It runs free behind. After the ball is Whitnell, wheels around onto the left foot. Good looking effort. Lance Whitnell's put it his 31st of the season.
Well, it was Matthew Allen in the centre square there. Great tap to Brett Ratton. He didn't panic under pressure, squared the ball up beautifully, but Lance Whitnell, very, very opportunity.
This is a very lucky goal for
It
Lance
was. He
Whitnell.
was sitting back there 3 deep, not taking any notice there. Look at him there. Poor old Ingerson was just watching. He was just watching the play, and it just lobbed in his arms. Lance Whitnell, very lucky goal.
Wasn't in the play at all. In fact, as you say, he was curling his heels, and all of a sudden that lead by Hamill got forced under the ball, and next minute he's kicked a goal. Lead by 6 points. Simmons is a high leaper. I tell you what, he might trouble at the centre bounce. He did very well against the Bulldogs, Simmons. He's a much improved player. And the Demons again have the free kick from the centre square. Walsh Their lone goal kicker pumps the ball wide. Swartz is the target, just wants the kind bounce. Silvani will close quickly. Swartz needed support, gets it back from Walsh, fires the ball to Powell. He's run down.
Tackle.
McKay magnificent in defence. Beaumont had it and lost it for a toss back in. Andrew McKay this year, Paul, has been
sensational.
Consummate half-back flank of the All-Australian.
The veterinarian's just sensational there. Just tackled him beautifully, straight at the hips, and looking at another All-Australian berth.
So a chance for the Demons. Boundary thrown 45 metres out. Rigoni has to backtrack. Swartz, 50 out. Kicks to the square, so a chance for the high flyers. Farmer also at ground level could be dangerous. Forced over the line by Bradley.
Well, Rice has been very good on Farmer. He's had 3 or 4 important possessions, Dean Rice. Played in front, just a lot stronger than Jeff Farmer. Probably too close to the contest. He's got to get out a little bit further than run in, have momentum.
Carlton by 5 points then. And Rice pondering. Comes to Beaumont. Still well inside the defensive 50. Simon Beaumont chips it out towards centre half back. Walsh did well to knock it away.
Hickmont, sensational. Desperation.
Dived in there, won the free kick. Bradley takes it from Hickmont, kicks towards the outer side. Camporelli going over the top was Whelan. It's still Whelan. Played it pretty well. Now he's got a problem. Camporelli throws him to the ground out of frustration. The umpire goes across and has played the free kick to Camporelli, wasting no time. Kicks in towards centre half foot. Houghton in front again, knocked away by Gergich. Picks up the crumb, releases Woden. Kicks towards midfield. McKay dropped the mark, so has to butter up again. Gets it to Franchina. Christou out towards the wing, kicking inside the 50. Big leap down there, mistiming at Leoncelli behind Walsh. Hamill brought him down, wants a free kick. The umpire's got a decision to make. Leoncelli dived on top just to cloud the issue, and we've got a bounce. It worked alongside the boundary line. Well, who brought that ball in?
That's what you like to see in the forward line. Forwards tackling. David Parker can be wrapped with that tackle on.
May have been Hamill who tucked it in under the Melbourne defender. Walsh close to the boundary line and passes across. Well, it's still in, so can't get him. That would be a harsh call. Koutoufides. Now it's out.
It looked like it was going out, Dennis, didn't it?
It did.
Let's have a look at Aaron Hamill here on Matthew Collins. A terrific tackle. He's one of the players who have taken a big step for the Blues in the last 18 months. Needs to do the ruck work, front of the pack. Safety first, the strength there of Koutoufides, sets it up for Hickmont. The Camporelli, he'll go very short. Ratton.
And that was sensational play by Koutoufides there. Taking the tap out. Didn't get it the first time, went the second effort. Blocked, Shepherd then grabbed the ball and handballed off, and they set up for a goal, Carlton.
Well, it's kicked 12 goals for the season. 6 of those came against the Western Bulldogs out at Optus Oval in a rare day for Brett Ratton. Not really a goal kicker. Has been a playmaker, playing in the middle of the ground. To the square, it's got carry on it, goes right to the line and through for a behind.
50 is just a bit too far for Brett Ratton. 45, yes, but 50 is just a little bit too far for him.
13 plays 7. 12.5 minutes gone in this first quarter. Phoebe to bring the ball back into play. Got a loose player in Collins. He'll have to be good. It was pinpoint accuracy. Collins pumps the ball back. Simmons. He's got a lot of mobility. He's caught by Hamill, whose tackling's been a feature of his game. Taken away by Silvani. Rockets the ball to Fletcher. 65 metres out. Sets it up to Franchina. Runs inside 50. Kicks long. Could have raffled it. Gergich was there, got his hands on the ball. Should have taken the mark in the end.
Just lack of talk there, KB, especially in a desperate situation.
And Camporelli has been pinged. You're joking, he said. Can't believe it.
Well, they're hot on that today, KB. Get the ball out clearly or else you're going to get pinged.
It's a pretty clear rule. If you go to ground, you've got to knock it out in the one action. There is no time given. Plus 50 here. Now, was that because Camporelli mouthed off at the umpire?
I think so.
The umpires are very quick to give 50 if you want to mouth off at them. Walsh caught too high. Now have to come back.
He's going to come behind.
Well, that's an unusual call. Manton, equal to the task, takes it across half back. Playing in the Armadillo headwear today. as McKay marks at halfback. He's been magnificent, as we've said earlier today. Already taken a couple of marks, 3 possessions. Hamill covering a lot of territory. A goal kick early in this first quarter, and there's a beautiful kick and finds Lappin.
Matthew Lappin on the wing then for the Blues. They lead it by 6 points. They're looking sharp, looking for 8 straight. Kicks it down towards half forward. Allen uses the body, almost the clever mark. Leoncelli camped in front, arches the back, slips away, gets it to Stephen Phoebe inside the centre square, and he kicks down towards half forward. Simmons breaking back towards full forward is Schwartz. Camporelli's off the ground. Short one comes from Simmons to Powell. Meantime, Powell's got it about 60 metres from goal. So Camporelli lost both arguments. Well, all 3 actually, as it turns out. Had a couple with the umpire.
Just got to focus back on the game. Just giving a couple of free kicks away unnecessary, especially in a game like today.
Powell gets it to White. That was a precise kick. What about 15 metres? So Jeff White, capable of kicking a long goal, has got this one directly in front.
That's good play here by Craig Bradley. He's marked the mark and he's called Matthew Allen across to stand on the mark. I always like to see one of the tallest players in the side stand on the mark. Puts his hands in the air, just means you've got to kick a little bit higher than someone like Craig Bradley on the mark, so it's very good play.
Jeff White from 55 gives it a ride, very close, right on the line. I think it may have crossed the line. Right on the call. Has he got the all clear, the goal umpire? Yes, he has. Stared down by the armadillo. Nothing doing.
It's a great kick by Jeff White. He kicked 4 goals against the Bulldogs last week. See Camporelli back on the ground. His man Peter Walsh has had 7 possessions. Camporelli's only had 3, so he's had the better of the contest there. Peter Walsh is a tough, nuggety little player. Just worried Camporelli. It was a great kick by Jeff White here. And goal. 2 goals apiece.
Jeff White's kicked 11 goals, 4 for the season, so he's been a bit of a dead-eye dick now. Taking his turn in the ruck, Woden wins the hard ball, pumps it back. Farmer versus Rice, he's got it, the Wizard. Bowled over that time again by McKay. Powell shovels the ball out, looks for Bruce, 25 metres out, it's a bad kick. Puts it over the line on the full.
Yeah, just inexperienced by Cameron Bruce. He had plenty of space. There wasn't a Carlton player around him. Just you'll learn that in later years, just to take your time.
Just playing his first season, Cameron Bruce, as we see Manton kicks the ball back. He's looking for Allen, taken away by Rigoni. High kick around the corner. Simmons could be dangerous, couldn't take it on the second grab. McKay again, hands and knees, gives the ball out to Beaumont, who just kicks a hurried kick again back. Allen squeezed up on the boundary line, kicked off the ground by Hickmont. Again for a boundary throw-in. So scores are equal, 2-1 apiece. Just played 17 minutes in this first quarter. Koutafidis on screen. No real impact on the game so far, just the 2 kicks. Boundary thrown, 75 metres out from Melbourne's goal, and there's a free kick that's been given away.
Is that a Shepherd, KB?
By Allen. Straight over the top. Ruckman do get the easiest free kicks in the world, though.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Jeff White will pump the ball deep inside 50.
Kicks from about 70, hangs it very high. Strong mark, Koutafidis. In front, did well.
50.
Yes, taken from behind, play on, hadn't been called. Schwartz making the point, he moved off the line, which he did do, but the umpire had not called play on.
He was too close to him too.
He may not have been 5 metres away from him.
There he is, right beside him, just waiting for him to tackle. You can't do that.
I think that was the problem.
Give him space. It's a fair 50 too.
It's another 50. 2 50s.
Well, the umpires stamping their authority on this one.
Doesn't pay to argue.
Umpire Kennedy, I think, is exhausted. Was it Chris Mitchell who stamped them out? Both of them involved. Like a relay race. And as a result, Koutafidis kicks a goal.
Well,
how about that?
Take a mark 30 metres out from the defensive goal and then bang one through at the other end. looks magnificent. I just mentioned about 5 minutes ago that Kudafiti's no real impact on the game, and he's bobbed up with about 3 possessions and he's kicked a 50-metre goal.
He's the last bloke you want to get into the game,
Yeah, that's
isn't
right.
it? And you do that for him.
No confidence. Don't give him any confidence.
There's the man on screen, starting to draw fans to the game just to watch him play. It's been magnificent over the last 6 weeks of the season. Has done some incredible things. Allen to Walsh, been great in this first quarter. Farmer playing in front. Really did stretch then to mark in front of Rice. Centres the ball, looking for Powell. It's been a great pick-up from the Western Bulldogs. Chance for Simmons, can he make ground? He's got to control it in front of Manton, needs support. McDonald squeezed up on the line, does well. Sets it up, magnificent play. Bruce can kick a goal.
Well done.
Bangs it through.
Yeah, it's good play by Anthony McDonald there. This was poor play by Carlton. Had 3 players go at the Melbourne player there in Simmons. One honest, one slips through the tackle there, Manton. Doesn't panic under pressure and gives it to Cameron Bruce. Good goal. Centre clearances, Melbourne 5, Carlton 1. So they're certainly winning the clearances.
Michael Sexton, game number 200, getting set to come on. Carlton looked sharp early, but Melbourne have settled nicely now. And they're playing the better footy. That bizarre goal, good for Carlton just moments ago, but Melbourne coming back strongly. Walsh out of the centre. This is Farmer. Rice took him down. Fletcher on his knees. Hand passes back. Taken by Farmer, falling to the ground though. Woden had it, lost it. Franchina slaps it away from him. Back to Fletcher. Fletcher looping hand pass. Kudafiti's. He's forward at the wing. Kudafiti's. High kick down towards Whitnell. Ingerson is there. Whitnell, a juggled attempt. Ingerson in trouble. Down he goes. Could have been holding it. A chance now for Whelan. Down he goes. Hamill got him. But a free kick, a high tackle called against Hamill, who arrived very quickly.
Another good matchup. Anthony Franchina on Shane Woden.
So Whelan, deep in his own defensive area, goes out wide. Schwartz has got it. No, it's Neitz on the outer side, kicking down towards half forward. In front is Bruce. Nice mark, kept his footing, spears the pass in, and the mark is taken by Simmons. Great transference of the footy, one end to the other by Melbourne.
He's a very much improved player, Troy Simmons. He's just gradually worked his way into this Melbourne side, and now he's got a major role in the ruck, and of course changing with Jeff White on the forward line.
Top 10 draft pick. Kick from about 40 metres out. Important kick this one. Any score, Melbourne lead. Shapes it left to right, misses narrowly. But the Demons lead by a point.
It was good play by Cameron Bruce to play on quickly though, not give the Carlton players a chance to push down inside their 50 and bottle it up. So it's good play, Bruce, to take your risk, play on at all occasions, and a great kick to Troy Simmons.
Just over 5 minutes left in this first quarter. The Demons by a point. 3-2 plays 3-1. Ange Christou pumps the ball wide. He's looking for Kuda. Ground level, pounced on by Whelan. Much improved, underrated player for the Demons. To Rigoni, who's just started to find some of his best form. He lost it for 12 months. Manton playing in front at ground level. Fletcher sets it up wide. Good vision. Taken away by Rice. What a career he's had. Started with Geelong and St Kilda. Premiership player with Carlton. Couple of knee reconstructions. He's got to be admired. Short kick, looking for Fletcher. May have lost in the sun. Not to Kuda. Feeds the ball off to Franchina. The Blues on the charge. Back towards centre half forward. Houghton with good body work on Neitz. Needs a kind bounce. Neitz the tackler. He needs support. Gurgic. Closed quickly to help out, then rockets the ball long. Woden back into the centre square. The Demons set up the loose player. McDonald can use the ball, chips it well. Leoncelli's got it. 55 metres out.
The problem is when they're stationary.
Simmons on the long lead. Short player wide is Powell. So some slack checking by the Blues.
That was interesting at the other end. Was that a free kick? Neitz was slapping around at the Carlton player who was Houghton, like he was frisking him for weapons.
Well, they generally don't. They haven't been paying that as a free kick. I think a lot of. Here's a loose player wide. There's two players and a trainer, and it went over Leoncelli's head to McDonald.
He's kicking it to the trainer.
Not quite certain if it's any closer.
Freeborn on now for the Blues.
Do you think it fined for that trainer for calling the ball?
But we do find a lot of players slapping, as you're suggesting, Dennis, and the umpires are allowing that to go by, which I think you've got to be very careful with that. I noticed Wayne Carey a couple of weeks ago. That's how he was being tackled, you know, with arms and octopus-like tentacles all over him. Big kick. Hammers it home by McDonald.
Well, it's been good play by Melbourne just to set the ball up, not to kick it long and direct down in the full forward zone. Now they've got 2 tall players there in Simmons and White rotating, but they're just using the blokes in closer. They know in Carlton they're going to drift back into the top of the square there, so they're not going to get their opportunity here, but there should have been a free kick there. It's just harassment. Houghton was very good. He's the only one attacking the ball, and Gerke was there for support.
So Melbourne have the lead. They're up by 7 points and looking very good in the last 10 minutes. White directs it down. Woden, uncharacteristic fumble, in trouble. Allen's got it now. Bradley off the fingertips of a teammate to Franchina, to Camporelli. Can he make amends? 45 metres out. Misses to the right-hand side. He would have enjoyed that.
And he's the indicator too, Dennis. If he kicks goals, he's got pure silky skills, Camporelli. He misses that, so they're not travelling all that well, Carlton. White's been very good up against Matthew Allen in the centre square there, so they've got to be very strong in that area. Carlton are very good.
Manton's off the ground. Camporelli, 4 possessions today, averaging 30 a game this season, up from 23 last season, 22 and 98.
And Peter Walsh's opponent, Dennis, has got 9, so he's done very well.
Ingerson inside his defensive 50. Uze, haven't seen much of him. Rigoni, long probing kick inside the 50. It lands about 20 metres out off hands. Opportunity for Leoncelli, couldn't control it. Mansfield got it across towards Sexton. Now they've got a problem. Leoncelli couldn't work the angle. He was trying to get his body around behind that one or to the side so he could flick it through. Tantalisingly close. Watch this. Leoncelli is after it. Gets the favourable bounce but couldn't just work it back inside the post.
Rice to bring the ball back into play. Bradley's the target. Kicks the ball back towards centre half forward. He's looking for Whitnell, playing in front, strong arms. Just put him in front. That great bulk. He's a fantastic young player.
Always plays in front.
Koutafidis. Too much carry on the ball against Neitz. Ground level. Collins slapped the ball out, taken by White. Tried to weave his way out of trouble. Touch of the fumbles that time by Neitz. Ball was just shoveled out. Neitz has to backtrack. Gives it across to White. Tries to pinpoint it. Rigoni on the stretch. Wins the ball well. Inside 50, the Demons surge forward. Silvani running with the fly of the ball. Farmer, the wizard, 45 metres out, takes him on. He was legged. He was legged. So the ball will come back. It was a desperate attempt by Beaumont. He says, come on. But from my vantage point here, it looked like he was legged.
His pace is always going to worry Beaumont.
No doubt. He started the tackle around the hips. The hand came down and tripped him.
And the gap was getting bigger.
Jeff Farmer. Put the Demons 13 points in front. Rams it through for a point.
He's missed it.
For a point. You could see there was no excitement in Jeff Farmer. He virtually turned away the moment he kicked the ball. So a let off for the Blues. Beaumont.
Beaumont, who found Farmer very slippery just moments ago. He kicks towards the outer side. Ingerson from behind knocks it down. Phoebe missed it. Crashing through as Whitnell comes back to Phoebe. Ratton the quick hands away. Camporelli found himself in space to Lappin. Back to Camporelli. Running down towards left half forward. Kicks towards the leading player, Koutafidis. Getting around him was Neitz, who did very well. And he escorts the ball across the boundary line. Well played by David Neitz. Not easy to get around that man. And Christou sitting on the boundary. Boundary throw in with the Demons up by 8 points. Looking to stop their slide. They've lost their last 2. Just hanging inside the 8. Could have almost been a push in the back there. Collins, did he have the ball? Hamill upended. Koutafidis jumps his teammate. Goes to Camporelli. Deserved the goal. May get one. Franchina turns around and kicks it. Athleticism from Koutafidis. Marvellous.
Well, that's why you come and watch him. He's an out-and-out champion. Turns nothing into something, Anthony Koutafidis. That's what champions do. Hamill was sensational there. Attack on the ball again. Koutafidis under pressure to Camporelli, finished it off to Franchina, right foot snap goal.
Franchina, one of the young players, making his mark with Carlton. We can see Freeborn at the centre square, Franchina. They've talked a lot about the Blues revolving players through the midfield. Bradley takes it from Allen, pumps the ball back. Here's a great grab, Houghton. Well, under a minute left in this first quarter, and the Blues have been mainly outplayed by Melbourne in this first term. They've just kept hanging in there, and they can be in front now at quarter time.
Whitnell did well.
Sensational, Whitnell, just to shepherd him off. Knew he was coming from the side. He's got great vision, Whitnell. That's a great part of his game. Saw Houghton on the side there. Most players would have went to the ball, but he's just too smart. Knew he was coming from the side.
Well, he's been a dead-eye Dick this year. He's booted 8 goals too from 45 metres out. Trent Houghton, straight through the centre.
Centre clearance is so important here, and Bradley was sensational again. Just chipped the ball up there, hit the top of the square, just 40 metres out on his opposite side here. See Whitnell just shepherd out Ingerson here. Smart play, Houghton, who didn't let him down, took the mark and goal. Good teamwork, Carlton.
Craig Bradley, 7 possessions now. Approaching quarter time. Important goal, that one. Carlton in front by 4 points. Moments ago, they'd fallen right off the pace. Allen and White hook up in mid-air. Rigoni hurriedly. Ratton in trouble. Slung. Freeborn gets the hand pass away. Bradley on the siren. Good term. Both sides had their moments. Carlton started well. They looked sharp. They looked brisk. And then Melbourne showed plenty of energy. Schwartz is still arguing. Well, after the siren, they can't award a 50. We saw 2 back-to-back. Koutafidis marked 15 metres out from his own defensive goal. And then the trip, virtually the length of the ground, saw a goal at the other end. Interesting, Neil Danaher didn't bring Schwartz off the ground.
Beautiful day for football, and it's the Blues.
So Melbourne behind at quarter time, but they've shown plenty so far. Just checking the goal scorers. Firstly for the Demons, Bruce, White, McDonald and Walsh, and for Carlton all singles to Hamill, Whitnell, Houghton, Koutafidis and Franchina. Quarter time at the G, and it's Carlton 5-2, Melbourne 4-4. Lead midway through the term, Carlton coming back with late goals. Start of the second term, not a bad crowd either at the MCG. Just the one game in Melbourne this afternoon. Allen goes up, knocks it down into the path of Bradley. Travis Johnston coming in the opposite direction was taken high. Former #1 draft pick going back a couple of seasons now. 97 ahead of Brad Ottens and Trent Crode. Says something about how he was regarded by Melbourne as he kicks it down towards half forward. Farmer worked off Rice initially, body to body, pushed him away, and then took the falling mark. There's White up ahead, another #1 draft pick.
More impressed with his work today, Dennis, because he's playing in front. Generally he'll play from behind, but it's good to see him playing in front. It's good to see that from Jeff Farmer.
Farmer, a West Australian, and White just making the point, a #1 draft pick of the WA team as the ball comes across the Neats.
Good play by Melbourne, just to did that in the first quarter, just to shift the ball around inside 50. All the Carlton players, all their tools are playing down top of the square there. You see Koutafidis, Silvani, the top of the square there. So they're just kicking short there. They know there's space just there in front of them. So it's good play, not to kick along and bomb it down.
Neats only 6 goals this season. They'll take a good kick from here. Kicks from right on the 50. Hoists it very high, and that's very accurate as well. That's a long bomb.
Well, I love seeing David Neats playing up on the forward line. I just think he should play there all the time. Him and Schwartz work so well together. He's a beautiful long kick. Can kick him from 60 out. He's got a great technique, but Jeff Farmer, he was a catalyst in that. I've seen a lot of Jeff Farmer, and he just usually plays from behind. So it's good play by him to play in front. Dean Rice is a lot stronger than him, so it's good play.
Demons in front by 2 points, 5-4 to 5-2. Allen against Simmons. He's got this mighty leap and great understanding with Woden. It just belts the ball back inside 50. Big fist away. The Ox hits it hard. Swartz caught by Silvani. Going to ground was Powell. All tied up by Ratton.
The Ox was slow and Silvani was patient. Just waited for him to fall into his arms.
Well, they've had 7 hit-outs.
Sounds like
Melbourne.
Mick Malthouse speaking there.
That's
Dennis.
where I learned it. Yes, speaking Maltese.
And Carlton only 4 on the hit-outs. So
Swartz
7 to Melbourne.
just try to push off his opponent.
They know he does that too, David Swartz. He likes to tuck it under his arm and try and break through tackles. I'd like to see him give the ball off quickly, especially when he gets it. Because you watch the tapes, he does like to take people on. Sometimes you've got to change your game, do a little bit different, put him in 2 minds.
Ball up on 50. Demons half forward line. Swartz takes the front position. Slapped down. This time it was pinched by Rigoni to the square. Some pushing and shoving. Sexton in game number 200. Got his fist to the ball. Bradley. A rare mistake. A rare fumble. Great presence of mind by Beaumont to Silvani. And the general sets it up. The playmaker. Ratton finds Bradley across half back. Didn't really hit his target in Fletcher. Puts him under a bit of pressure. Does well though. Bradley follows on, runs hard to the contest, and then drops the ball in the arms of Powell.
Well read by Stephen Pell. He knows Bradley's going to kick the ball on most occasions. Read it beautifully.
Robertson to Simmons. 60 metres out. The lead is on. White. Too much carry on the ball. A wasted opportunity for the Demons. Sexton comes away. Wobbles the kick back. Walsh was very good in that first quarter with 9 possessions. Loves to run with the ball and take them on. Then pumps the ball back inside 50. Silvani. It was interfered with that time by his own teammate in McKay. It was a look-away handball. Finds Jeff Farmer, the wizard. Goes to ground. Hands and knees. Can't find a target. Just lost his footing. Ratton to McKay. The professional across our back. Swartz take a bow. What a smother. Team lifting stuff. Leon Chally back to Swartz. Quick hands. Didn't quite come off. Freeborn. Hurried kick back around the corner. Allen hits the ball hard, goes to ground. It could be pinged. Does well is Franchino. Woden stands and delivers a high ball back to centre half forward. Swartz. He could pump this ball long. The lead is on. Simmons in front, playing in front of Silvani. Bundled over the line for a toss back in.
And they just look a little bit lethargic, Carlton. They've come off from a 6-day break from over in Perth, but a great smother here by David Swartz. That's desperation. Neil don't be wrapped in that, but just they look a little bit lethargic. So they've got a battle on their hands all day, Carlton. They just don't look sharp in their play.
Boundary throw and Allen knocks it down. Farmer falling to the ground. Schwartz couldn't control it. Ricochets off his body. Camporelli. Schwartz made a beeline for him. Freeborn stood up, got the hand pass away. Camporelli's hand pass close to the boundary line. Whelan pushed across by Camporelli.
He's a tough little player, Whelan. Sergio, half-backer, great tackler. Did some great tackles last week against Bulldogs. Was sensational. Good player.
Melbourne by 2 points. White and Allen. Test of strength. Allen won it. It fell at their feet. Woden over the ball. Ratton over him. No concessions coming out of that pair, and we'll have a bounce.
Yeah, just get that feeling, KB, don't you, in this game that Carlton are struggling. It's only a 6-day break, like I said, from Perth, and not as sharp. Their disposal's been pretty ordinary in this first 5 minutes of the game.
But they are the best at taking the opposition's best shot, aren't they? Just riding with it, as they did last week against the West Coast Eagles. See what they've got to offer and then come back hard. Allen beaten by White. McKay slips it away. Ratton head down, kicks it up towards the wing. Awkward bounce for Whitnell. Coming through was Houghton, kept his feet. Over the ball is Whitnell. Well played by Robertson, who was held without it. Goes after it, close to the boundary. Camporelli scampers out of there, tackled right on the line. It's still in. Camporelli and Steve Beebe. Now the boundary umpire wants it.
Just another underrated player for Melbourne is Anthony Ingerson. He's had 3 possession lands, Whitnell only 2, so he's had a bit of the duel there, Ingerson.
Allen knocks it down in front. Woden did nicely. Phoebe was taken high. He'll get the free kick.
He's a hard worker, Shane Woden.
Yeah, they were good there last week in the first half, weren't they, KB? Inside, hard ball gets.
I suppose it's important they can actually keep up the pressure for the full 4 quarters. Walsh from inside the centre square, good kick, looking for running is Leon Chally, needs a kind bounce. McKay, so hard to beat. He is a fantastic defender. Goes short, finds Koutafidis, very good in that first quarter. Bradley loves to set it up across half back, takes him on, changes gear, runs away that time from Neitz and finds Whitnell. So the Blues of old, looking sharp, running hard. He wants to draw the opponent. Kicks the ball inside 50. It's a wobbly old kick over the back and landed on the chest of Woden. Covers enormous territory, never stops running. 8 possessions, 9 possessions coming up. Just caught in two minds. Schwartz wants it out wide. He's starting to get the raspberry from the crowd. So Woden kicks the ball wide. Schwartz was that target. It was a long, long lead down from the forward line. Johnson, the Demons really need him to show some of his wares. Just his second game for the season. Cameron Bruce ran into trouble. Tackle. Caught by Beaumont. They'd paid the advantage and Fletcher pumps the ball back. Looking for Allen. Simmons paddles the ball along. Ratton sees it over the line.
And poor play by Allen there. Tried to take the mark in his chest there. Should have used extended arms on Simmons. He had his body work on him, but great tackle here by Beaumont just to wrap him up. Good work.
Melbourne by 2 points. Boundary thrown out his side. Allen got a hand to it. Ratton waiting behind. Hurried kick around the outer side wing. Bradley getting busy. Nicely done. Close to the boundary line. Pulls it back inside the 50. Hangs a long time in the air. Ingerson slapped it away. Powell in trouble. Tackled by Lappin. Too high, says the umpire. Powell will get the free. Coming up for his 10th possession. Squares it. Walsh will need to go. Freeborn arrived quickly. Walsh outnumbered. Beat a pair of them. Breaks away from half back. Well played. Emerging superstar in defence, young Walsh. It's taken now by Whelan. Comes back to Woden. They've got the numbers on the wing. Leoncelli. Whelan is running hard for him. He ignores that. He kicks inside the 50. Jostling down there by Bruce. All to no avail. Rice is over the ball. He's claimed by Bruce. Silvani reaches in. Had it slapped away by Farmer. In goes McKay. Back it comes to Rice, still on the ground. Goes looking for Hume, and Hume lunges across the line.
Yes.
Got a try. Angry throw in.
It was a lunge. It was a good call, Dennis.
Saw it, liked it, took it.
Inside 50s, Melbourne 8, Carlton 2.
Chance for the Demons. Front position, Allen. Farmer to Woden, who was across half back a few moments ago. He's a running machine.
It's a bit more workmanlike by Farmer today, KB, getting in and under there and giving a couple of handballs out.
He's playing way out today. He's playing on the half-forward line.
He's doing a lot of good work, Dipper, isn't he? A lot of hard work, which we don't see from him.
White from behind reaches over, taken by Sexton. McKay kicks the ball back towards the centre wing. Phoebe just driven into the ground that time by Whitnell for a toss back in. So Lance Whitnell, just the 2 marks and 3 kicks in the game, but he has kicked a goal, albeit a lucky one in the first quarter when he seemed to be out of the contest and the ball came over the back. Able to finish off Walsh. Paddling the ball along in front now. He could be pinged there. No real effort to knock the ball out, but he's been given the benefit of the doubt.
Good play by Melbourne to wrap up the Carlton players. So Matthew Allen on a boundary throw in, pushes back towards the Melbourne forward line all the time, so they know that. Well drilled.
Demons by 2 points. Just a shot there of Wayne Britton in the coaching box for the Blues. Mansfield on the field. Straight away into the action. Leoncelli, that's tough in close. They'll pile on top. And a ball up.
You see that player, David Schwartz, though. He just tries to take him on. He should have flipped the ball out to the Melbourne player. He had him loose there. First thought, get it out. He's got to get it out quicker.
Play bogged down between wing and half forward for Melbourne. Allen and Schwartz. Allen comes with the run, wins it, hooked it down behind. Regoni couldn't control it. Hickmont slaps it out of there up towards the wing. They come from all directions. Lappin sliding in. Stephen Phoebe going over the top. Once more it's in and it ain't coming out. We'll have a bounce on the wing this time.
A bit of an arm wrestle at the moment. No one's given an inch. No space for Carlton to work in. Give Camporelli silky skills. Walsh has been fantastic on him.
Allen again slaps it down. Hickmont helps it on its way. Allen comes again, gains about 10 metres. This is Collins, tackled by Whitnell, taken down. Flying through there was young Brown, just introduced moments ago, on in place of Robertson. And he arrived very quickly. Just
in this bounce down, Dennis, Matthew Allen's just pushed the ball 3 times forward. He's just got to change direction here. Melbourne are picking him off and not giving Carlton the space to work in. You've got to sometimes change your direction, push it back, do something different.
A lot of talented players around this bounce.
That's
Allen
better.
to Hamill. Hamill goes off a step, kicks inside the 50. Extra man back for Melbourne. Regoni takes the mark.
Hasn't been pretty football over the last 5 minutes.
Oh.
There's a good mark taken by Ingerson.
Neither side's either the break here, KB. They're just working hard.
Well, he's an underrated player, Ingerson, to Leoncelli, who has been one of their guns this year midfield. He was looking for Walsh. He's had a great
He's
tackle on Camporelli, and Walsh, can he keep the ball alive? He can't. He's had it 16 times today. The Camporelli's 8. It's been a great duel, a great matchup.
I love him.
And there he is, and Camporelli gets a few words
Gets
from
a bit
Johnston.
agitated, Camporelli too, Campers.
And just a little nudge there as Walsh comes in. Boundary throw in, centre wing. Travis Johnston, second game for the year. Feeds the ball out. Collins takes it. Some run now from Phoebe. This kick's a poor one. Been taken by Whitnell. He's got back in defence. Pinpoints it. Koutafidis across half back. Bit quieter in this second term. He's had 7 possessions, kicked a goal and 3 marks. And Allen, this time too good for Simmons. Still on centre wing. Carlton can't get the ball quickly into their forward line. Big fly, Whelan. Well, here's a terrific pickup. He played up in Darwin last year, only half the season. Did so well in the competition's best and fair, has been picked up. And he has been one of those unsung heroes who's just come into this Melbourne side and has lifted the rating. Powell runs through the centre square, pumps the ball long, chance for the Demons backing back. Good grab, taken by Beaumont.
Beaumont tackle from the good mark there, composure. Look a bit leg weary, Carlton. They're not on top of their game today.
Sexton, left half back. Bradley having a good term. Bradley across half back. Gets past Bruce eventually. Little chip pass across to Fletcher, still inside the centre square.
A lot of action, Dennis, no scoring.
That's right. Fletcher down towards half forward. Hickmott headed out towards the boundary line. Whelan. This will be tough. Both of them hard doers. Hickmott over the ball. Whelan over him. Ball locked in. And another bounce.
It's great for a kid to come into league footy straight away and play so well, KB, isn't it?
Black armbands today being worn by Carlton. Mocker Johnson, one of their former captains, and he was the oldest living Carlton player, has passed away at 90 years of age.
Allen got it down to Franchina. Camporelli over the ball. As usual this afternoon. Walsh over him, and Walsh wins the battle again.
He's not having a good day because he fumbled first. Walsh has worried him here today because he's got good body strength and good balance. So a good tagger needs that. Needs good balance and strength. He's got good upper body strength, and he's a bit of a goer too. Very strong player in the mind.
Look for Leoncelli, who was taken high off the ball. Slaps it forward. Silvani's got it. Sold Beaumont out of trouble. Beaumont through the centre square. Miscues with a kick though. Melbourne queue up for the footy. Missed by Johnson. Came to Ratton. The hand pass across to Camporelli. That was Whitnell cruising past. Now he's got it 55 metres out. And he spots Hickmott. Hickmott's got the footy. He'll kick it goal from about 45 out. So quite a lengthy drought in terms of scoring. Could be broken here by the former Geelong player, Adrian Hickmott. He kicks from right on the 50, and this ball bending left to right, through for a behind.
Battle of attrition today for Carlton, and not sharp. Only Ratton was seeing clean disposal in the second quarter, given the hands out quickly. He's the only one handling the ball properly. The other one's a little bit fumbly, Carlton.
Bit of an Indian arm wrestle at the moment.
Melbourne have been good.
Plays at 33.
Young kids are playing well. Whelan, Walsh been very hard at it.
Just the one scoring shot for Melbourne in this quarter, which was a goal. And for the Blues, they've kicked one behind. So it's been a drought. And we've played nearly 16 minutes in this second quarter. Woden's been good. It's amazing the big steps he's taken in his game. Kicks to space. Johnson runs on the ball. Swartz comes in. Some strong arm tactics. Loose ball taken by Bruce. Fires the ball off. Danger here. McDonald can go short. Looks for Brown. Touch of the fumbles at a bad time. Franchina, the tackler, hands and knees, was lapping. The run came through from Fletcher. Sets it up to Hickmott. Poor kick. Chipping in was Whelan. So a wasted opportunity. Brown just couldn't handle the ball. And a very, very short kick.
Why would you do that?
And Powell has marked barely 10 metres. Practicing some underground kicking at the moment. Goes wide, and all of a sudden, touch of the fumbles as well. So mistakes coming into this game. Woden. Good tackle by Mansfield. Again, it's a wobbly old kick.
Beaumont again.
So it is a defender's dream when the ball comes in like that. Under pressure, just wobbling the ball forward. Running with the flight was Whelan. Kept his eyes on the ball. Wants to fire it off to Collins from centre wing. Deep into the forward line. Big pack of players. Couldn't take the mark. The crummer. pounced on by McKay. Pumps the ball wide. It's a good kick. Ratton looks dangerous. Lappin runs hard. He'll want the ball. Kicks the ball along the ground. Looks for Hickmott. Wants to set it up. Whitnell's got it.
Didn't panic.
Plenty of space. No chance for Ingerson. And Lance Whitnell. And Camporelli's going to make ground. Whelan's a poor kick. Camporelli can kick a goal. He's got it. What a battle it was to get a score on the board and a goal for Carlton. That's their first goal, and it's taken 17.5 minutes into this second quarter.
Well, they only look dangerous because Brett Ratton, when he touches the ball, he just uses the ball so well to the advantage of Carlton there. And Whitnell, it wasn't the greatest of kicks there, but lucky enough to get away with the Camporelli. One goal. Peter Walsh has played very well on him. It's upset him on a few occasions, given a few free kicks away, but gold on that occasion.
So Carlton lead it by 5 points. White up early and high. Woden very adept at getting that quick kick away. McKay's in the road though, across half back. He swings it out wide, intended for Fletcher. Neat spotted the danger, came up quickly. Fletcher's got him. The hand pass gained about 5 metres. Ratton shepherded off there by Franchina. Well played, Carlton. Ratton kicks inside the 50. Big leap, Ingerson.
He's a good player, this bloke. He doesn't get enough rewards for his effort, especially in media. Melbourne absolutely love him. It's just sensational.
McDonald back to Ingerson, working the stats. He goes out wide on his knees. Neats.
Does his job every time, Anthony Ingerson.
Swings it back towards the middle. Houghton punches away. Plenty of Carlton players on the ground. McKay back to Houghton. He'd run on. Gets it to Hickmott. Question of accuracy. He's got it.
Oh, that was a terrible kick. That was a terrible kick by the Melbourne player then to hook it inboard in through the corridor when there's 3 or 4 players around the Melbourne player. Just the wrong option. Decision making. David Neitz, poor kick there. Just kicked it high. Gave Houghton a chance just to punch the ball there. McKay has been good all day. Handballs off Houghton to Hickmott and makes no mistake. 2 goals in 2 minutes.
.45 plays 34. The Blues just starting to flex their muscle. Houghton now taking a turn in the ruck against White. That mighty leap. Ball's been pinched. Travis Johnston does well, just guides it to Rigoni, kicks the ball hurriedly and long, deep into the forward line. Was that a shove out? Sexton claims the mark and he's got it.
Too strong, too tall.
Playing game number 200 today. Kicks the ball wide, Houghton. And such a good pickup, plays so many positions for the Blues. Franchina comes away on centre wing, squeezes the ball along the boundary line. He's looking for Hickmott. Just come off a goal. His confidence is high. Tough in the clinches. Chance for Ratton trying to crash his way through was Hickmott. Looked like he might have been caught high. Hamill.
Great tackle, Neitz.
Dancing feet is crunched to the ground by 2 demon opponents.
Had his head ripped off Hickmott though.
They'll ball it up just outside of 50 and look at that. He said it was over the shoulder ump.
Just have a look at this. Oh, Hickey, poor old fella.
And Neitz there, strong tackle. And Phoebe just lent a hand as well. And a wry smile from Adrian Hickmott. So ball up 55 metres out. Just over 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Koutafidis with strength, gave it to Ratton, lost it. Demons just forced the ball towards the boundary line. Houghton not keen to keep it alive.
They've had better of the play too.
Throw in.
They've had better of the play too, KB. Melbourne, 1 goal from 14 chances inside 50, so they've just been a little bit disappointing up forward. Don't look as dangerous as Carlton. 2 goals from 7 inside 50. So
Allen just taking a break. Houghton doing the ruck work. He's had it pretty tough, Matthew Allen, against Troy Simmons and also Jeff White. And Camporelli goes over the line.
And 2 players have been very good in this second quarter, KBs. Andrew McKay has done a great job as from the first quarter. 5 kicks, 2 handballs, and Ratton's had a fair bit of the ball, 7 possessions, just sets it up beautifully.
And one of the Demons' better players there, Walsh, seems to be in a bit of trouble. White tried to slap the ball out, hands and knees. Hasn't been pretty football. Koutafidis with strength. Those wonderful hands and vision. Finds Fletcher. McKay runs into Woden, was crunched. Johnson, a good strong tackle on Bradley. And look at the grip of McKay.
Walsh still in trouble there, boys. Looks like a rib injury or maybe a sternum. We'll see how he goes here.
Looks like he might have to come off. played 22 minutes, just over 3 minutes left in the second quarter. He's in a bit of strife.
Might have strained a muscle
Yeah.
in that tackle.
Didn't seem to be contact, did it?
No.
Well, that's a body blow for them in more ways than one.
And Sexton also coming up for a bit of a spell.
Meantime, Rice taken down. The tackling has been very aggressive and very strong in this game. Now the umpire Mitchell, darts across to break things up. It's a Carlton free. Rice offloads. Koutafidis kicks it down towards half forward. Whitnell took out Neitz off the ball. Meantime, Hickmott. McKay was shaping up to Farmer. There's a bit going on. Hickmott was carrying the ball out towards the boundary line at right half forward. Couldn't keep it in. Now Rice comes across and immediately just walks into Farmer. There's a pattern emerging. Boundary throw in just outside the 50.
Always target the good players, Dennis.
There's Walsh in trouble. Meantime, the game goes on around the outer side. This is Collins coming away. Collins at centre half back, kicking it out towards the wing. This will be interesting. Freeborn favoured by the bounce and a timely nudge. Wins the hard ball, kicks inside the 50. Coming up to meet it down there is Hickmott. He's been very good to Beaumont. Beaumont lines up and kicks a long-range goal.
Well, it's just a poor bounce. So just a poor bounce that got Wheel, and then Freeborn was the opportunist there. Beaumont, Hickmott's been sensational, leading up all the time in the forward line, creating options for them. Handballs the ball off to Beaumont. Makes no mistake there on his left foot, and he's been very good, Simon Beaumont, playing in the back line. He's done a great job.
Blues with their biggest lead by 17 points. There's Walsh, just explaining to the medical staff his problem. So good in that first half with 13 possessions and 3 marks, playing on Scott Camporelli. Major force for the Demons. Leon Chally, Mansfield the tackler. Fletcher should gather across half back. Blues have been very good over the last 10 minutes. Hickmott, very strong overhead. Neitz forced the crumb. They've got the numbers at the ball. Just knocked on that time by Ratton. Going to ground was Brown. Travis Johnson, those good clean hands. They'll feed the ball across through Phoebe. Come back to Ingerson. So a big transfer of play from the members' side. From the outer side of the ground, they go short and finds Woden across half back. They can raffle it. Phoebe, Matthew to White, edge of the centre square towards centre half forward. It's a poor kick. Rice is going to close quickly, puts his body on the line. Just paddled the ball along, finds Bradley, sets it up. The General, magnificent. To Camporelli, opens up to Ratton. The General's got it. Whitnell on a lead in front.
Doesn't make a mistake, Ratton, under pressure that time. Didn't panic. When you get the ball in the clear, just hold the ball up until you seize the right option. And that's what he does all the time, Brett Ratton. Tight situation too. He only sees his teammates, doesn't see opposition. Good players.
Lance Whitnell has booted 31 goals for the season. Bangs it through.
Yes, the game's getting away from Melbourne here. Ratton's been involved. Lance Whitnell's got a little bit of the ball in the second half. Adrian Hickmott's presented a lot of chances. And Carlton's kicked the last 4 goals of the game and been very good. Bradley's got a bit of the ball. Camporelli down the back line there, just setting it up beautifully, using his disposal. He's got a bit of space that time. Walsh is not playing on him, so he's opening up a chance for Camporelli to get into the game. And Whitnell doesn't let him down.
So Carlton surging, approaching half-time. And suddenly it's a handy lead. Koutafidis out of the middle, kicks inside the 50. Hickmott again at the back, almost the mark. Dives on top of the footy, gets to his feet, wrestled down by Neitz. Interesting matchup, that one. Whitnell kicks at his third, hits the post halfway up.
And it's great play by all the Carlton forwards there. Every Carlton player was in front of their man. Whitnell and Hickmott, he got the opportunity. That's where he came over the back there, and Hickmott had a chance there. Kept the ball in, the ball fell loose. Whitnell was chance for his 3rd goal. Good play, Carlton forwards.
And Walsh is heading towards the rooms at the moment, boys. Looks like he's got something wrong with his ribs there, so we'll keep an eye on it all day. I doubt if he come back on.
Carlton have got a couple of interesting players on their forward line. Hard to match up with. Hickmott's one because he can take a mark and he's agile on the ground, and Lappin's another when he's in form. As the ball's kicked outside the 50. Taken by Houghton, hand passes back to Fletcher, making a name for himself. This youngster hooks it around the corner, and Ratton takes the mark about 35 metres out. What a player.
Coming out for his 9th possession, Dennis. Been very good in this second quarter. Just been under pressure.
No, not one of his stellar days so far, but his work rate high as always.
But when they were struggling, his disposal was very clean.
What'll he do here? Well, not a good-looking effort. It wobbles down towards the square. At the back, an opportunity for Collins. It was going to be a Melbourne free. Advantages paid. There's the siren for the half. Half-time at the MCG. Saturday football. There's a man who had a big term and really helped set up this scoreline at half-time. Carlton suddenly have kicked away to lead it by 4 goals. It all happened in the last 6 or 7 minutes of the term. And now the Melbourne Brains Trust in earnest discussion. Tom Viney in the foreground, looking back to Neil Danaher, and to his left, our right, Ryan Royal. So Melbourne, who started so well last week and then fell away, have the job to do to come back in this one. Something they've generally been good at this season. They pride themselves on their fitness. They're going to need it. And there's David Parkin, his 22nd season as a senior coach, 15th at Carlton. He's got a very good side at the present time. Half-time of the G. It's Carlton 9-4, Melbourne a 5-4.
Work.
Start of the second half then. Saturday football from the MCG. Melbourne with the task in front of them. Rucks go at it. Simmons was up high. Woden 9 possessions in the second term. Missed that one. Matthew Phoebe coming through. Gets the kick away from 70 metres out. Silvani steps in front of Schwartz and takes the mark on his chest.
Best part of Stephen Silvani's game. He reads the ball so well off the boot.
Great anticipation. Chips it in short. Ratton comes away, his 14th possession inside the centre square. This is Mansfield down towards half forward. Whitnell on the lead. Ingerson knocks it away from his rival, tracks it out towards the boundary. His boot comes up, makes contact and forces the ball out of bounds. So a boundary throw in midway between left half forward and left centre wing for Carlton. There's Christo in the distance, just limbering up. Hasn't seen a lot of action. Koutafidis, brilliantly done. Ratton lays it off. Hamill chips it in. Whitnell in space, almost run down, kicks inside the 50. The pressure affected the kick. Allen lumbers up towards it. The big man heard the voice. That was enough. Hickmott well tackled by Johnson. The hand pass spills across to Phoebe. Phoebe kicks it up towards the wing. In front, Bruce. Well, that was clever. If nothing else, it's out of bounds.
And for the bench boys, you mentioned Christo. There's Houghton, Manson and Lappin. And for Melbourne, Gurkic, Uze, Robinson, and of course Welsh.
Looks like Walsh has come back from hospital, Dipper. He's now sitting on the Demons bench.
St. Vinny's just around
One with Gurkic and Robertson sitting there as well, so it's good news. At least he's still here at the ground. Leon Chally driven into the ground, some strong tackling. Ball up on centre wing. 58 plays 34. The Blues in command. 9-4 plays 5-4. So the Demons starting to chant, trying to rally the Chargers.
Koutafidis playing on Woden. That chap there, Franchina, was on Woden, but Woden played very well in the first half.
Ingerson to Leon Chally. Hurried kick. Farmer playing in front of Rice. He's got it. Second grab.
He hasn't done a lot today, Jeff Farmer, but he has played in front.
Well, he missed an easy goal in that second quarter. He rushed the kick. Powell, clever play, pumps the ball deep into the forward line. Schwartz. Well, they need David Schwartz to lift in this third term. He hasn't really had any influence on the game so far. Just the 2 kicks and the 3 marks. And Melbourne have not scored since Neat scored 1.5 minutes into the second quarter. So David Schwartz directly in front. Will shoot from about 35 metres out. They need a team lifting goal. Schwartz stands and delivers. Pumps it through.
Well, that was certainly better play by Melbourne then. Jeff Farmer again being in front. He's worked pretty hard, hasn't a lot of the ball, but what he's done, he's played in front. And Dean Rice has been a good match-up there. It's been a good duel. Nice mark there. Feeds the ball off quickly. Got to play on because Carlton are flooding the Melbourne forward line here. Collins, quick hands onto Powell. And kick to his right side there. Kick to the right side on the left-hand side of him, but kick to his advantage there, and Schwartz, and a good goal. Schwartz needs to lift. Good play.
Demons drag it back to an 18-point ball game. They took a standing count in that second term. No knockout blow. Hamill weaves his way through the traffic. Kicks the ball wide. He's got Whitnell on a long lead. Going to ground is Ingerson, wearing him like a glove. Over the top is Hickmott, influential in that second term for the Blues. And a ball up on 50.
Leoncelli's got the job on Brett Ratton. Woden on Kurtafidi, so that's a huge job for Woden. And Whitnell was serviceable in that second quarter.
So Kurtafides and Woden matched up in this third term. Woden very good for the Demons in the game, and Kurtafides played a very good first quarter. Mansfield caught one high then. It wasn't seen by the umpire. Goes to ground. Woden on the burst, on the charge, takes him on. Woden runs through the centre square, goes wide. White's the target. He's got it. So all of a sudden, Swartz has taken a mark and kicked a goal. And now Jeff White. So the tall forward line of the Blues just might turn it around. Here's Mansfield, caught high. So a free kick was accidental, but a free kick from Ingerson wasn't paid. And the ball has been rushed to the other end. And Jeff White is lining up for his second goal. Kicked a goal in the first quarter. If he kicks this, the Demons are back to within 12 points. White from 45 metres out, starts to bend it back, not enough. Wasted opportunity.
Well, if you've got to get back into this game, you've got to kick them. Good players, just didn't have momentum through the ball there, Jeff White, so chance goes begging there for them. Carlton make the most of the opportunities. They're a quality side, they'll make them pay.
Have you got the stats of inside 50s for both sides during the game? We're interested in that, because I reckon Melbourne been in there a few times.
They're much the same, Dip.
Rice, the short one to Kurtafides, up towards half back. Testing time for the Blues then. Kurtafides kicks it out wide. Hamill launches himself in front. Camped in front is Powell. Comes away with the footy, falling to the ground. Leoncelli sold into trouble. Freeborn got him down. Hamill gets the crumb forward of the wing towards half forward. Hickmott again. Letting Neats to the ball. He's about 60 metres out. Pulls it back to 2-on-1 for Melbourne. And the two prevail. Stephen Phoebe kicks it out wide. Another 2-on-1 situation for the Demons. Johnson has got it. Lent support by Simmons. A little indecisive. Johnson comes back to the middle. Not a good kick. They had the numbers behind. Freeborn took the mark though. Will they be punished? Melbourne kicks inside the 50. Hume, nicely done. Hamill to Ratton, kicks from 52. Going back is Johnson, keen to make amends, but he can't get there in time.
Well, it was two poor disposals by Melbourne there. Powell with the decision to handball to a stationary player, put him under enormous pressure there. And you see on this side here, Johnson, poor decision. There was three Melbourne players. Had to be a cute kick for Johnson to get it right. It didn't work out, and Carlton have made the turnover there. Jeff White misses one down in their forward line. As Carlton, they'll make you pay. Quality sides make you do that. The kick, good kick by Ratton.
Neil Danaher would be disappointed. Johnson took the ball out here on the halfback flank. He should have accelerated straight away. He had support there, could have carried the ball virtually to the half forward flank for Melbourne, but elected to stand his ground. The mind was ticking over, and of course the decision was a poor one, and the penalty was a goal to Ratton.
Especially standing still in a stationary too, KB. He has to kick off 1 foot, and you've got three Carlton players there to one Melbourne.
Jeff Farmer playing up the ground. I think one of the golden rules in football is that when you take the ball, you accelerate straight away. You hit top speed as quickly as you possibly can, then you can make up your mind what you're going to do. No good just standing there and just minding your mind and biding your time. You've got to accelerate. Fletcher on centre wing. Hickmott on a lead. That's been ignored. He's gone short to Rice. So they're just sharing the ball around on the edge of the centre square. Kurtafides looks dangerous. Got pushed under the ball. Hickmott, a dangerous player, 35 metres out. Rams it home. He's got two.
Well, 2 goals in 2 minutes for Carlton here. Hickmott's been very good in the second quarter. He was very lively. Just used the ball better. Fletcher to Rice, Farmer's opponent. Spread the ball. Kurtafides got a little bit of a shove. Hickey over the back and goals. Make the most of opportunities. Jeff White down there. You've got to hurt the opposition sides. And 2 poor disposal in through the midfield. Just costly for Melbourne.
Probably an opportune time to get Neats on the forward line, simply because it's not working in defence on Hickmott. He may give you something up forward, although they've got quite a few tools on that forward line. So
Some juggling to be done by Neil Danaher. Koutafidis emerges with the footy, then gave it away. Whelan to Powell. Powell kicks out wide. McDonald tracking it. Runs away from him. McKay and McDonald. Well played, McKay. That's all he had to do. He corralled his man once the mark wasn't taken. And he knew suddenly the balance of power had shifted.
Just letting him know there. Just willed himself in front of McDonald there. Great play, McKay. Just letting him know there. I was behind you, young fella, and I got in front of you.
The Klansman. And now McKay is getting the free kick.
He'd get a nice grip because he's a good veterinarian.
Yeah, McDonald can't believe it. McKay comes across. Silvani.
Be wrestling those cows.
Gee whiz.
You didn't think it was a kick?
Oh, no.
Sexton.
You've got both players nudging each other and pushing each other, and then all of a sudden you decide to give a free kick to one of them.
One grabs the throat by each other.
Sexton kicking it up towards the wing. Whitnell's the target. Hickmott camped in front through his legs. Rigoni slips it away to Farmer. Hand passes to his own advantage. Camporelli tracking him. Farmer falling to the ground. Back to Rigoni. Matthew Phoebe's got a problem now. White likewise. Hand passes back towards the middle. Great pressure by Carlton. Liancelli gets away. They hooks it down. This will bounce through. They kept at it.
I'm not quite certain what stops Jeff Farmer's got into his boots, but yeah, I've seen him slip over about 3 or 4 times today. And last week at Colonial Stadium, I think we blamed the stadium surface because a couple of times when he looked like he was going to kick goals, he went to ground. Yep. Every time he seems to change direction. So I'm not quite sure whether he's got rubbers on. Maybe he might have a look for screw-ins, but he's going to ground too often when he's got the ball and changing direction. And that was a lucky goal to the Demons.
Yeah, last week he did that also, Kevin, and you're right. I was just going to mention that also. He needs long screw-ins.
Melbourne with a handball just haven't quite been able to hit targets clear, have they? Going forward, it's always to a stationary player who seems to be under pressure, but they drag it back. Franchina kicks the ball down. Hamill. They've got a very good forward line, the Blues. You've got Hamill and Hickmott. You've got Koutafidis at times and Whitnell. It's hard to man up on. And here's Fletcher. He's a proving player as well.
They're experienced players under pressure, Carlton, though. When they get a little bit of space, they don't panic. They use the ball. Good vision by Bradley. Ratton's also been very good in that area. They just don't get it. Once you get clear, I'd rather you get caught with the ball and turn it over. That was always the rule. Never panic under pressure.
Just playing his 22nd game. He's bid at 6 goals for the season. Fletcher from right on 50. Unloads. Goes right to the line. And kicks a goal.
Well, the third goal in this third quarter, and Simon Fletcher deserves a goal there. Just a hard-working kid. He was at Geelong for a long, long time, had knee injuries. So it's great to see him get his reward there. There you see Ratton in and under those hard balls he gets. Slips the ball out to Camporelli, and Bradley doesn't panic here. Sets his options straight to Fletcher and goals.
Not easy to break into this Carlton team, but Simon Fletcher is doing exactly that, cementing his spot. 14 possessions today, one of their better players. Rigoni smothered off the boot. Koutafidis did that. Woden tackled by Ratton, wrestled to the ground, and we'll have a bounce. 29 points the margin.
After Ratton having a quiet first quarter, he's had 17 possessions so far, 4 marks, 4 tackles, which is more important. One of the leading tacklers out there with Andrew McKay, who's had 5.
It's in his contract. He's got to get 30 plus. Over the top, Koutafidis. Hand passes at close quarters to Hamill in the grasp. Camporelli, aided by a good Shepherd, gets away. Kicks inside the 50. Hickmott had it fisted. This is Phoebe. Stephen. Ingerson. Collins. Slips it wider. Uze. Neats. Forward of half-back. Kicking across the wing. McKay anxious to get at that one. Knocked it down in front. Beaumont stood up in the tackle. McKay comes again. The hand pass, though, not too flash by his standards. Hume makes it look okay. Camporelli. Fletcher coming up for his 15th possession. Pulls it back towards the middle. And what a possession it was. Slick. Lovely finish. And Whitnell's got it.
Last couple of minutes, Camporelli's getting a little bit of the ball since Peter Walsh has gone off. And just his use around the ground. Just his skills just worrying Melbourne. Just too clean.
Whitnell going at his 3rd here this season. 2 hauls of 5. Hawthorn round 2. Collingwood round 3. Kicks from 35. And Carlton is starting to pull away.
Lance Whitnell is one of those players, Paul. He just continues to work his way into the game all the time. He's not one of those players who sort of just bursts into the game and kicks 3 or 4 quick goals. He just sort of grinds you into the ground, doesn't he? And at the end of the game, he's picked up 16 marks and he's kicked 4 or 5 goals.
Well, that second quarter, the first quarter, Ingerson had done a great job on him, but the second quarter was very good. The second half of that, and this third quarter's been very good again.
Three goals to Lance Whitnell. Blues by 35 points. Koutafidis to Bradley. It's been absolutely magnificent. Game number 325. His partner in crime is McKay. Just pumps the ball wide to Fletcher. Here's Whitnell, just starting to amass possessions. Camporelli squeezed up on the boundary line, keeps it alive. Hooks the ball back to 50. Coming through hard is Hickmott. Crunches Leon Challey. He's got a sore head. Ratton does the wrestling on the ground. And I think you'll find Leon Challey might need a Bex.
Clash of heads there.
That's the thing with Adrian Hickmott. He will injure himself because he does lead with his head a fair bit.
You see there, both with their eyes on the ball.
Doesn't see what's coming on. He doesn't have good, very good vision, Adrian Hickmott. And he knocked me out twice when I was playing with him.
You're on the same side.
He just always sees the ball, he doesn't see anybody around him.
Oh, that's not a bad thing, really.
Yeah, it's just sort of underlines the fact you were not very well liked at Geelong. Johnson had a chance. Collins. Transfer play across the goal front to Powell.
He's got up in my estimation, so I'll give it a tip.
Thanks, KB.
Well, not every day you get a chance to knock out a Brownlow medalist. Johnson. Just hoping to make some big improvement this year. He's had some injury problems as well. Rigoni, McKay, across half-back, just arts the back. Rockets the ball back to Bradley. So the two veterans combined. Just waxing the ball. Fletcher looks to be a dangerous player as well on that forward line. Johnston, they backtrack and concede ground. Rigoni across half-back. A show of the ball. Always seem to be handballing to an opponent who really can't go forward. McKay.
Yeah, sensational.
Just simply too good across half-back. Lappin has spent a lot of time on the bench. His kick's a poor one.
Not a bad game by Andrew McKay. 18 possessions on the half-back flank, 11 kicks, 7 handballs, 3 marks, 5 tackles. He's had a bad day out.
A couple of those tackles too have been bone-crunching tackles, haven't they?
What's his quote for the Brown line?
I think he might just like to hurt people.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Make you wary of blokes like that. I didn't like half-back flankers like that. You knew I was going to cop one.
Well, that make him a good vet. We've got a bounce down towards right half forward. Loves animals. He puts that on his resume. Loves animals.
Loves animals.
Likes hurting people.
You'll get a job anywhere.
13-4-7-5. Koutafidis with strength. Well, Woden on his knees played it pretty well. Johnson was pushed in the back.
Nearly a free kick, wasn't it?
I thought so. So bounce about 60 metres out from Carlton's attacking goal.
We need to make a change here. Needs to go to the forward line. If we're going to kick a goal here, try Cameron Bruce down there, a young kid on Hamill. You just need to be a little bit more dangerous.
Koutafidis wins this one too into the path of Bradley, ridden off the line of the ball. It spills across to Lappin. It's very gloomy down there. Lappin, is he holding it well? The umpire, I think, on the wrong side of that pack. It had squirted out the other side, but it's going to be a Melbourne free. Be taken by Whelan, who chips it to Matthew Phoebe. Matthew Phoebe on the wing, pulls it back. Taken by McDonald. Matthew Phoebe had run on. Lax play by Koutafidis. He should have kept running. The kick inside the 50. Camped in front. Beaumont played it well. Releases Camporelli. Camporelli kicks it towards midfield. Hamill left it behind. Lappin heard the voice. Well, it was close to a throw. Allen's got it. Kicks it down towards half forward. Ingerson played it well. Coming again was Lappin. Gets it across to support Hume. Hume was taken high back to Camporelli. Camporelli runs to the 50. Lines up on goal. It clears the men down there. Great running goal, Scott Camporelli.
Well, we spoke about Peter Walsh going off the ground and Camporelli. He starts the game like he finishes, just runs all day. He's going to hurt you on all the times. Just the second effort, that was a bit of a throw by Lappin here. Have a kick here, Matthew Allen. But there you see Lance Whitnell always in front. Lappin again, second efforts, handballs out. Hume was a little bit lucky there. But here's Camporelli, balances up, goals, no pressure on him now. Walsh is gone. He's got plenty of space to work in, and he'll just catch you up for the rest of the game.
Matthew Allen sitting on the bench having a breather. Trent Houghton goes into the ruck. They lead by 41 points. I know last year many of us thought maybe they were lucky to make the grand final. At one stage we didn't think they were going to make the 8. But they are such an improved side even from last year. I know they were grand finalists, but the Blues have gone up a few cogs. No doubt about that. Schwartz, 45 metres out, needs to kick a goal for the Demons, and does. He's got 2 goals in his 3rd term.
Quickly out of the centre square there, Melbourne. Down to Farmer again. He's been good. He hasn't had kicked a lot of goals here. 2-on-1 situation. Handball quickly out to Schwartz. That's his second, David Schwartz, for this quarter.
The lights are on at last, Dennis. Someone flicked the switch.
You're right now, Dennis.
That'd be a great feeling of power, wouldn't it? Just to throw the switch. Eh? I like that. 14-4-8-5. Schwartz with 2 goals, both of them in this term. Koutoufides. Still Koutoufides. Still Koutoufides. Throws it on the boot down towards half forward. Running back with the flight of the ball is Human. He's away like a rabbit. Runs inside the 50. He kicked it like one. He's missed to the left-hand side. It's a behind. 89 plays 53.
See, I reckon that's the difference with Carlton. Koutoufides this year has given them a star, someone with absolute presence around the ground.
You look at the top sides: Essendon, James Hird, North Melbourne, and Kangaroos, Wayne Carey. 3 out of the top 4 sides have got superstars.
That's enough. You're giving the Dockers an inferiority complex. As Rigoni kicks in, he drives it towards the outer side. Travis Johnson looking to reach over the top. Here's the man again, Koutoufides. Fletcher slaps it wider still. Bradley to Hamill. Hamill's away. He's down towards left half forward. He pulls it back towards the middle. Up in front. The mark is taken by Franchina.
Starting to get a bit of a training drill here for Carlton. Too easy there for Koutoufides. Fletcher working well together. Franchina's been a little bit quiet. I haven't seen his lower his colours too often, but Woden was certainly good on him in the first quarter and a bit. He had to change. And Hamill was very good in the first quarter. Sets up the play.
We touched on this before. Very methodical, Carlton. They stick at it.
They did struggle early.
Yeah, then do their own thing when they break the shackles. Break the heart of the opposition. Franchina kicks. It's a wobbly one, but it's effective.
Getting a little bit of a possession here for Carlton. Been very good. Franchina's getting involved now. Koutoufides is getting a little bit more of the ball. Fletcher's been good. Worked hard. Bradley. Koutoufides with 9 possessions in this quarter, so he's really up the ante, so to speak. Ratton was good in the first half and just continue to kick goals.
Blues led by 4 points at quarter time, 24 points at half time. Now lead by 41 points. They've booted 6 goals in this 3rd term. Phoebe kicks the ball into the pocket. Too much carry that time for Cameron Bruce, who's just come off the interchange bench. Troy Simmons gone for a break. Phoebe on screen.
And Jeff White, he's one player, I know he's had a few injuries. If he was close to being best on the ground today because of Carlton's dominance around the midfield, they'd have a chance, Melbourne, but he's just been a little bit disappointing. I'd like to see him do a little bit more than he does. I don't know whether it's an injury with him, but he just doesn't do enough for my liking for a tall player who's got spring.
Houghton to Camporelli. Rigoni just tried to crash his way through his strength. Mansfield getting close to 200 games. Lappin, fresh man, virtually off the bench to Bradley. He's won the ball 17 times today, Craig Bradley. 325 games, just keeps on going.
Torbans keeps on keeping on.
There's the captain, the skipper. What a career it has been for Craig Bradley. And still the general out there for the Blues. Schwartz with strength. Tried to get rid of Houghton, who did it well. Close in handball, didn't really hit its target. Powell just weaves his way out of trouble with dancing feet. Runs to 50. A solo effort, kicks a high ball to the square. They need a high flyer.
Oh!
Good grab taken by Beaumont. Just stood his ground. Has really found his niche in defence. Booted 8 goals and a half against Collingwood. But it's as a defender that is really making his mark now. Hamill covers a lot of distance, a lot of territory, comes a long way down from the half-forward line to Hickmott. They set it up and they've got a lot of hard runners. Here's Silvani from full back.
Tangles.
Goes short and Whitnell who just grinds you into the ground, who's booted 3 goals, 1 in each quarter, is lining up for goal number 4. And he's taken 7 marks.
He'd be worn out, Stephen Silvani. He doesn't usually get out of the square, so it's good to see him use the ball beautifully. A champion player and a champion bloke.
Whitnell from just inside 50. Looks like he may have pushed this right and through for a minor score.
Well, there's only one side that can beat Essendon, and I think it's Carlton. Round 20, and the topical word is blockbuster. Carlton versus Essendon at the MCG.
Night game too, isn't it?
It's sensational. Pack 'em out.
Sometimes clubs inclined to look beyond the games between, though. It's a danger for both the coaches.
Well, the Bombers have got to get over the Kangaroos tomorrow.
That's right. Phoebe kicks off. Needed to be precise, and it was. Queuing up down there was Uze. Breaks away across half-back. Hand passes inside the centre square. Matthew Phoebe back to Uze. Very left-sided. Sold him into trouble there. Now Woden's got a problem. His 16th possession. Hand passes over his shoulder, but Camporelli will send Carlton forward. This is Fletcher down towards the pocket. Hamill.
He's getting a bit of the ball, Camporelli. But Adam Uze hasn't had a great day today. He's only had 4 possessions, so been a bit disappointing. Adam Uze, just when you need your leaders, the players have been there for a while. Fletcher's been good also. Starting to share it around.
Uze has spent some time on the bench today. Christou comes off. Sexton comes back on. Game number 200. Grew up supporting St Kilda. Michael Sexton. This is Aaron Hamill kicking from 35 and misses to the far side. Wasn't a factor last week against the West Coast Eagles, although he's got a history of success against that club. And again today he's been well held, but Carlton with a big lead, 15-7-8-5.
Got a lot of options on their forward line. Matthew Lappin also, who's had a very good season. He's kicked a lot of goals for the Blues so far this year. He's kicked 22, but he's been on the bench a fair bit. Hickmott has been a staffer on the forward line. And so is Whitnell, who's booted 3. Here's Houghton. Does well. I think we're underestimated the Blues chasing and tackling and harassing the opposition. They've been so good today. There's been very few clean possessions for Melbourne. Whelan, edge of the centre square, penetrating kick. Koutafidis couldn't take it. There's Silvani doing some bullocking work. Loose ball, Camporelli just starting to win a lot of possessions now. Kicks the ball out wide. Whelan in space. McDonald trips the light, fantastic, comes away, tries to drill it. Not a good decision, taken away by Hume. The rebound could hurt the Demons. Hickmott. Collins goes to ground, gets support from Phoebe to his brother Matthew, all tied up by Ratton. Bradley, clever play. Tied up also over the top, still a loose ball. So good umpiring because the players were allowed to try and win the ball. 97 plays, 53.
And you spoke about tackles, KB. Carlton 41. It's an indicator. There's no secrets in footy. Melbourne 24.
97 plays, 53.
Do the hard work, you win.
44-point lead to the Blues. Ratton with strength, or tied up by Stephen Phoebe. So a ball up still on the half-forward flank for the Blues. Hamill's at full forward. Fletcher in the pocket. Whitnell playing a long, long way out from goal. In fact, he's nearly in the centre of the ground. And Hickmott inside 50 as well. Houghton just gives Matthew Allen a bit of a breather on the bench. Uze comes away, pumps the ball back towards centre half forward. Coming out was Schwartz, just didn't focus on the ball well enough. Going to ground, doing a 360 was Whitnell. McKay keeps his feet, bangs the ball back. Coming out was Ingerson. Hamill looks dangerous, paddling the ball along his Collins. He wants to head for the boundary line, kicks it off the ground, sends it over for a toss back in.
That seems a bit of match-up. Collins on Hickmott now. Lost interest in the footy. Carlton have been cherry ripe in the second half. Knocked down by White. Phoebe lunges in. Ratton is there. And we'll have a ball up.
David Neitz is on Lance Whitnell. Oh no, that's the difference. There's no secret in footy. You do the hard work, the 1%ers, you end up winning the game.
Koutafidis snaps, bending it around, brushed the post, I think.
Isn't it annoying when you see a bloke pick the ball up with one hand and you have to pick it up with two? He's just got such big hands, Koutoufides. And I saw that in 95 grand final, picking up one hand and taking off, and everybody but 4 players trying to get a hold of him.
Does it all the time too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Now Woden chips to the pocket. This is Collins. So a lot of the sting out of this game at the moment. Melbourne needs something special as Collins drives it high in the direction of Neitz. Tailor-made for Houghton from behind his foil. That was a very good grab. Strong in front, David Neitz.
He's got the job now on Lance Whitnell. Goes short, finds Rigoni. Still on the edge of the centre square. 15 possessions to Rigoni. Short. Matthew Phoebe started on the interchange bench. Now Simmons is deep in the forward line. He's gone short, and Schwartz, who's kicked 2 goals in this third term. So Melbourne, Schwartz has kicked 199 goals in his 127 games so far. So a milestone coming up for David Schwartz. If he can kick his 3rd goal for the quarter and the 200th of his career. Kicks to the front of the square. It was a centering kick. And Robertson, who spent a lot of time on the bench, has marked directly in front.
Good play by Schwartz just to set it up at the top of the square there. Had 3 or 4 options there in Melbourne.
So a kick after the siren just might be the lift that the Demons want for this last quarter. They've only beaten once in the last quarter this year, and that was against the Western Bulldogs last week. It was the first time they've been outscored. So Robertson directly in front. They bring a smile to their face at the final break. He's hit the post. So it's one of despair. And that might just about sum up the Demons' game today. So behind to Robinson. Gets a pat on the back. It's not good enough to miss from there. 98-54. So it's a 44-point ball game after leading by 24 points at half-time. The Blues have come out firing in this third term.
Lance Whitnell has 3 goals. Adrian Hickmott and Scott Camporelli, along with Anthony Franchina, all have 2. Schwartz has got 2. Both came in that term for the Demons. 3-quarter time. Carlton 15-8. Melbourne 8-6. Game today. So in the gathering gloom, the Demons with a task. Allen and White. Clean possession to Allen. Surprised he had it. Gets it to Hume. Across it comes to Franchina. He's booted a couple of goals. Kicks well inside the 50. Whitnell launches himself. In front, Phoebe throws it on the boot back towards the wing. Mansfield played it pretty well. Seems to be okay now too. Fletcher thought he was pushed in the back, and he'll get the free kick. Haven't been a lot of free kicks in this game this afternoon. They've let them play, and Fletcher has played pretty well. He plays on now and kicks inside the 50. Hamill launches himself, couldn't hang on, falls to Bruce, smothered by Franchina. Woden goes after it, soccers towards the boundary and gets it across.
If there's a criticism of the young kid Bruce, he's not urgent enough in his footy. When he gets a ball, he doesn't show any urgency. You've got to get rid of the ball on that side there. Should have went to the boundary line a lot quicker. The ball was smothered. Doesn't seem urgent when he leads either. You've got to get a bit more desperate. He's got plenty of talent, we know all that.
Ball close to the boundary line. Woden overran it. So Shane Woden, how many possessions today? 17. By his standards, that's down a little bit.
He was good in the first half, Dennis. Just quiet in the third quarter when Carlton had all the play.
5 times this season he's had 30 or more possessions. Koutoufides works his man, then works the footy. Hamill had it a long time. Hume, Camporelli right on the boundary line, looking to thread the needle, and he's done it. Wide-eyed, great goal.
It's a great part of Camporelli's plays. He just doesn't give up from the first minute to the last minute. Enormous capacity to keep running all day. His fitness is at a high level. That's what happens. The opportunities come. You keep running to enough contests, you'll get the ball. Hume there feeds it off to Camporelli with silky skills. Certainly found a bit more space since the young kid Walsh has gone off him, and who's injured, unfortunately, for Melbourne. He was really desperado in the centre square breaks, the young kid Peter Walsh.
And we just saw the value of Koutoufides again there, just with that strength and just to get the ball out. He's done that a lot again today. He's had 23 possessions. He's kicked 1 goal himself. Leoncelli tried to get across to McDonald. This is where they've fallen down today, Melbourne. They really haven't been clean with their hands. They've missed targets, and when they've hit a target, That target has often been stationary.
Just their forward line, KB, hasn't been dangerous. The last couple of weeks I've seen Melbourne, they're not dangerous in their forward line. They don't look like they're going to kick a lot of goals at any particular time.
Madden, Freeborn and Houghton on the interchange bench. And Barry Mitchell to the right there. Former great player with the Swans and the Blues, and short stint with Collingwood. And a terrific player for Victoria. Koutafidis was caught high. There was no free kick. It's taken away by Mansfield, a Camporelli. So quick hands. They've got plenty of runners coming out of defence. Ratton was looking for Camporelli, and the chipping in, taking over the line, was Nathan Brown.
Just in stoppages on play in that third quarter, Koutafidis had 9 clearances. And it's ball ups, boundary throw-ins, just any stoppage in play. He just had another one there. Just working a 2-on-1 situation there with Allen worried about White, and Koutafidis comes over the top.
Blues by 50 points. Bradley, the playmaker, does well. Finds Lappin from the half-forward line. He was looking for a Ratton. It was a rare mistake. Clever play by Whitnell. Hume's going to run into an open goal from Ratton. It's a poor kick. A rare mistake for the Blues today. And it's hit the behind post.
Deserve better. I'd like to see Anthony Ingerson play in front of Lance Whitnell and take that space in front of him. Whitnell is a great master just playing in front all day. Just change your game a bit. See if it turns around for you.
Ingerson and Whitnell wrestle wide of the pack. A chance for Ratton close to the boundary line. Feeds it back inside. Taken by Hamill. Hamill centering kick. Well, nobody really wanted that one. Whitnell goes up, knocks it down. Woden comes away. Woden, a bounce through half back, running it up towards the middle now. Shane Woden, long kick down towards centre half forward. Schwartz and Silvani cleared both of them. Silvani goes back. Beaumont too slick. Now they've got a problem. In front is Brown. Could have almost got a free kick there. Beaumont takes on Schwartz. In comes Silvani. He's the master of being the third man in, just for appearances to tie it up. And we'll have a bounce in the pocket. Tough day for Melbourne. Not many goals since midway through the second term. Schwartz beaten by Silvani. Slaps it towards the boundary line. Rigoni over the shoulder. Farmer. Still Farmer. Charged down brilliantly by Hume. Hume at close quarters got it to Ratton. That was ambitious. Stephen Phoebe. Uze's hand pass smothered there by McKay. And McKay goes after it. Slaps it about 10 metres. Probably gained about 3 before it went across the line. He's had a wonderful afternoon. Having a fine season. Andrew McKay.
3 votes.
The Armadillo.
Yes, he's warming up on the bench.
Yeah, Armadillo, look at he'll butt you.
104 to 54. Meanwhile, back at the game. Powell. Stolen by Koutafidis. High kick down towards half forward. Tailor-made for White. Well done by Hickmott. Somehow got there and punched it away. Ingerson stood up in the tackle. White did well. Deflected it down to Collins.
He kicks the ball into the centre square. Running with the fight is Phoebe. Bradley is going to worry him out of it. He's the master at that. And then sets it up short. Finds his partner in crime in Ratton. 2 great midfield players. Wonderful vision. Hume 65 metres out. Hickmott. White on the long stretch. Hickmott tries to set it up. Hamill around the corner. A snap right across the face of goal. And out of bounds. And a scratch of the head. It's been fantastic, Craig Bradley. He just keeps on winning the ball. 19 possessions, sets it up. He's got that ability, Paul, to just worry the opposition out of the ball. Just with his presence, he sort of just hovers around, and all of a sudden there's a bounce of the ball sideways, and he's got it. Leon Challey squeezes the ball along the boundary line.
And that's what makes him good on ball. As you see, Greg Williams wasn't the first player to get near the ball. A couple of blokes used to fumble it. Maybe the third bloke in line, and just one clean sweep gone, same as Bradley.
And I think that's the key to it all. It's just the one grab player. They don't fumble.
They don't fumble.
And
you see Greg Williams be the third in line. They'd fumble, run over the top of it, straight over the top.
Good players don't fumble. It's as simple as that. A lot of players around the ball. Camporelli's had a great day since Walsh went off. He's Melbourne's best player. Left the field is Koutafidis again. The playmaker to Hamill sets it up and kicks a goal. He's got 2.
Yeah. Well, it's good bustling work there by Hamill, Camporelli and Koutafidis. Just to give the ball off. Just in stoppage in play again. He's just there again. Got the handball out in the first place, follows the ball up. Second effort again, misses again. Oh, he'll have to pick it up. I'll pick it up again, son. I'll just handball off and we'll kick a goal.
Nothing much he can do. I've got to say they've got a wonderful mix inside the centre square, Carlton, at the moment, with Koudafides in form. Allen, Koudafides, Ratton, Camporelli, with Bradley running off the line. Goes out towards Bradley, but knocked away by Stephen Phoebe. Rigoni back to Stephen Phoebe. Out towards the boundary line. McDonald. In fact, it's Brown keeping it in front, but it spills across the line.
And Dennis, we spoke about players fumbling there. You saw Koudafides. He had first opportunity at it. A couple of Melbourne players fumble it. He walks through the pack there, picks up at one, bang, a goal. Just the difference between quality.
Well, he's directly responsible for at least 4 goals with his handball and bullock work and strength, just winning the ball and giving it off to a teammate.
I wish you guys would stop with that. Fumbling was a part of my football life. Uze's got the ball. He's at half back. Kicks in towards the midfield and Woden.
If Tony Lockett was bearing down and you'd fumble and take off.
Mind you, I changed. I hated it when I was coaching. I lived with it when I was playing. There's Simmons. Rigoni, forward of the wing. Very high ball inside the 50. In from the side, Sexton.
The 95 premiership side, Sexton, Christou, Silvani, McKay, all getting involved.
Hickmott has played a fine game. You can see he's a player who really wants to cement his spot in this team. Mansfield, another of the borderline players. He kicks down towards half forward. They've got a bit of depth this year, Carlton, more so than in previous seasons, and that's helping them. A lot of pressure on.
No injuries.
Yep, getting a free, goes short to Silvani, who's pushed up again. Silvani spots Hickmott, who's run on, and he's marked about 45, right at the edge of his kicking potential.
Well, he was one of the players in the second quarter that really turned around for Carlton. Just his leading, crowding options all over the ground. His work rate's been sensational down the back end, front end. Nick's caught one in the back.
Hickmott, the man who knocked Paul Couch out twice. Kicks, and I think he's got it. He has. 3 goals to Hickmott.
Well, we saw the old stage and Stephen Silvani running down the ground for his second possession down on the forward line there, setting the play up again. Hamill's free kick down the ground. Silvani just lopes down, sets the play up. He's got good skills. Squares it up to Hickey. He's been a very good player today in goals for Carlton.
Carlton have methodically destroyed the Demons today. They lead by 62 points, 4 points at quarter time, 24 points at half time, 44 points at the last change, now 62 points. Pretty impressive side, the Blues, and I think you said round 20 they play the Bombers. Because the Bombers have got to get over the Kangaroos tomorrow. The Blues and the Bombers in round 20. It's looming as a blockbuster. Jeff Farmer tried to tickle the ball forward, taken away by Ratton. Now the whistle's gone. The ball's coming back to Brett Ratton.
He's knocked up getting it again, 24 going for his 25th possession.
202 games to Brett Ratton. Just playing a slightly different role this year, sharing around midfield duties. Beaumont has been so good cross half back. The kick wobbled into centre half forward. Chance for Allen, just needs a kind bounce, but Beaumont just ran hard after the kick. Crunch. Strong work. McKay has been magnificent, but the ball is coming back. The free kick is going to Melbourne.
Hume copped a hospital amble.
So Brown to Uze. He's had a quiet day. Pumps the ball down, looking for the Wizard. Up high. Couldn't take the mark. Rice has been a tough competitor all day. Powell goes short. Finds the run through. Brown takes him on. Runs inside 50. Centering kick. Chance for Neitz here. Silvani. Neitz. He's got 3 to beat. 4 to beat. Ange Christou to Silvani. The old firm in action to Ratton. Loose player sets up. Beaumont to McKay. Across half back. The Blues. A running machine today. Great. I was going to say it was a great mark. He was well held that time by Woden. Koudafides short. Finds Hickmott. who's emerging as a force now on the forward line. McDonald across half back, had to concede some ground back to Rigoni. Melbourne midfield hasn't been dominating today, and Bruce has got it. Young player, his first season, on and off the bench today. Uze looking for Neitz. Brown back to Neitz. Most of Melbourne's kicks today have been around the corner, nothing too penetrating. Schwartz booted a couple of goals in the third term. Silvani goes to ground, he's got to knock it out. Schwartz with strength, the Ox over the ball, again taken by Uze. Quick snap.
Oh.
He's kicked a goal. Hard work.
Yes, it was hard work for Melbourne to kick this goal. They worked hard there. Uze, seeing screen, there hasn't had a great day by his standards. Been well held, 7 kicks, 6 handballs. Not a great day. Schwartz there working hard. Silvani was over the ball. Should have been pinged for holding it. Lets the ball go. Schwartz, ball flicks out the back. And Uze makes the most of his opportunities, goals.
So the margin 56 points. Simmons knocks it down. Powell kicks inside the 50. Runs onto the back of Jeff Farmer. In the road then Sexton, who kicks it out very wide, close to the boundary line. It runs away from Bruce and Franchina and will be thrown in.
I wonder how Farmer would go if you gave him a run in the centre square around the ball a bit. You know, just you know how you can get someone who just gives you that life around the ball, something brilliant. You know, you burst away with the ball across half back or set it up and run on. You know, ball carriers midfield, you know, can really lift a side. And I just wonder sometimes when they're sort of stagnant as they are now that maybe Jeff Farmer can be used in a different role.
He can get stale down the forward pocket if it's not coming down.
Well, it's not easy to sort of try and kick 2 or 3 goals a week as a set small forward, but you know, just around the midfield you can have that sort of ball carrying ability. You can just see Farmer sort of on the half-back flank carrying the ball up towards the half-forward line, can't you? You know, with a run of chain of handballs, yeah.
I've been advocating that with Clive with the Dockers. I think he'd be handy in the centre square sometimes. Here's Bradley down towards the 50. Centering kick. Uze goes back and takes the mark. That was a clever mark and a courageous mark as well. Got to keep the PR machine pumping for Clive even when he's injured. Comes up to Woden. Woden gets it away. Leoncelli. Phoebe. Here's Leoncelli through the centre square. Man in space. This should be a goal. Schwartz is away. He can run down to the 50. Didn't need 2 bounces. So close together. Robbed himself of 5 metres. He needed the 5.
Tired legs in the last quarter. It's hard to kick. When you've taken a couple of bounces, your legs start.
But you didn't need the second one, did you?
No, you didn't need the second one. Just starting to hurt there. You can see just tiring there. And it was always going to be hard to kick a goal.
Ange Christou finds Sexton. It'd be nice to see him return to his best. All-Australian defender. Back in the mid-90s, playing his 200th game today. Goes wide, finds Koutafidis, who really does set it up for the Blues now. To Bradley. Kicks the ball down. He's looking for Silvani. Kicked off the ground that time by Collins for a boundary throw-in. 61 players, 116. 18-8 to 9-7. Just under 10 minutes left, and we see Walsh on the interchange bench. He was a dominating player for the Demons and injured appeared to be his ribs just before half-time. And he had the better of Camporelli, who since has gone on to be a dominating player with 3 goals and 21 possessions. Travis Johnson just playing his 2nd game of the season, the former #1 choice in the draft. And Jeff White also on the interchange bench, looking a bit forlorn for the Demons. Uze, confidence high after kicking a goal. Franchina, much improved player, backtracks, finds Bradley to Silvani, who just belts the ball inside 50. Koutafidis was a high flyer. Loose ball, danger here. Hickmott sets it up. Camporelli's kicked 3. Pulled off the ball. Great tackle that time by Robinson. Loose ball, hands and knees. Some desperate play, but the whistle is gone. And Camporelli will take the free kick. He's going for goal number 4. Let's have a look at it. Caught high.
He gets that injured look on his face, doesn't he? Like Horshack from Welcome Back Cotter.
Kicked 16 goals for the season.
Got to give him a kick.
He's been the highest possession winner in the game this year. He's been just absolutely magnificent. He's gone from being a very good player to a star player for the Blues. 45 metres out. Camporelli kicks goal number 4.
And I've seen him a couple of times, Camporelli. His first quarter's not all that good, but just his high level of fitness, aerobic capacity to keep running all day. And it does hurt sides because his skills are so very good. Desperation there. And like he said, he's turned into a very, very important player. Used to play on the wing for Carlton, and look, it's very hard in and under now.
19-8 plays 9-7, just over 9 minutes to go at the MCG. Very dark. Houghton got it down brilliantly to Bradley. Freeborn slides after that one. Robertson, interesting hand pass, just lobbed it in front of himself. Powell's in there. Uze, well played. Works at about 25 metres towards half forward. Silvani lunges at it. Rigoni's got it across half back. Swings it out wide. Travis Johnston in open space. Can go again. And gets it to Brown. Nathan Brown kicks inside the 50. In from the side, Farmer misjudged it completely. Off hands, it runs to the back. Over the ball now is Whelan. Coming through is Sexton. Sexton hand passes out wide. He's gone about 20 metres with that hand pass, so little or no chance of a decision being paid deliberate. The boundary throw it. He knows it's gone.
Kurtafis with 28 possessions. Another 3 votes maybe for the Brownlow. 6 in a row.
Sometimes some of the favourites develop a momentum, don't they? He's got it now. People very conscious of Anthony Kurtafis. Taken by Farmer. Hand passes back into the congestion. He's obviously got a sense of humour. Camporelli was taken high, and he'll get the free kick.
I was just wondering, Paul, with your assessment there, 6 best on the grounds in a row for the Brownlow medal, whether that was a leak.
Hey, breaking story. Lappin's got it. Lappin forward of the wing, a centering kick. In front, Franchina had it fisted away. Plenty of Melbourne players at the front there. Down goes Collins against the flow. McKay just tries to hack his way through there.
I think that's reality, KB. That's reality.
You might get your second, please explain, from Wayne Jackson.
I don't need that anymore. I'm happy to watch the footy.
Can you let us know anyway?
Dip would like it a bit.
Yeah, he'd love to
hear
have
the
a bet.
medals jangling, can't you?
White got his hands to the ball. Woden will take the free. He's battled hard today. Not one of his dominating games, but he still picked up 20 possessions. His kicks are poor on Melbourne today. Their delivery of the ball, they've generally put their teammate under pressure. They haven't really been clean today. But then again, we've got to give credit to Carlton because they're chasing and tackling. They're strengthening their tackling. And here's another example of not really hitting a target. They'll share the ball around. Houghton to Bradley. Allen, maybe too tall. Make that Beaumont. 35 metres out, a high ball. Hickmont at the back of the pack looks dangerous. Goes to ground. There'll be a ball up 15 metres out from Carlton's goal.
KB, you mentioned before about Farmer, what boots he's wearing. I've been able to ascertain he's wearing stops. So obviously a little bit slippery here because of the dewy conditions out here.
I wonder if
Gee, that's the best you've ever looked, Dipper, too.
I wonder if he's been wearing them all day, Dipper, but if he is wearing stops, well, he's doing the right thing. Kurtafis gets bundled out of the way that time by Woden. One of the rare times today he hasn't taken the ball with one grab.
And one of the reasons why Melbourne have struggled, 14 players or less have only had 12 or 13 possessions, so just not enough players getting the ball, and probably about 10 of them have had 10 or less, so you can't have half the side working for you. 6.5 minutes left in this final quarter. The Blues well in control, lead by 61 points, so they've doubled the Demon score. Beaumont has been so good across half back. Bradley goes to ground. Rigoni swooped on it. Pumps the ball back towards the half-forward line. It's going to hit 50. And Silvani, in a one-on-one contest, has defeated Schwartz.
Amazing player. Hard to categorise the way he plays his footy. Silvani, short to Freeborn. Breaks away from half-back. Probing kick towards half-forward. Kurtafis just edges Woden under the ball. Woden hanging onto the jumper. Didn't matter much. Kurtafis has got the ball directly in front. He'll kick from on the 50. 122 plays 61. So they doubled their score. Anthony Koutafidis. Plenty of distance on that one. It cleared the fence. He kicked from outside the 50.
Silvani down on the forward line, down the back line there. Free ball again. Good play by the Blues defence here, but Koutafidis just too tall, too strong for Woden. And that's his 7th possession for this game.
And Koutafidis on screen. 6 possessions in the first quarter, 6 in the second, 10 in a stellar third term, and he's had 7 in this last term as well. And he's booted 2 goals. So Koutafidis continues. The star is still on the rise. Ratton goes short, looking for Allen. They are a machine at the moment, the Blues.
Just for the Blue fans, both Whitnell and Hamill have been off for most of this last quarter, just to have a bit of a rest.
Well, Whitnell had kicked 3 goals, 1 in each of the first 3 quarters, and Hamill also have got 2 goals, so 5 goals between them. Taking a bit of a breather. Allen yet to kick a goal. They've had 10 individual goal kickers today, the Blues. This could be number 11. And the Roar tells the story.
And that's what good quality sides do. Share the workload. 11 goals, individual goal scorers for Carlton today. The backline's been outstanding today. 2nd in the competition. Beaumont's been very good. Ratton's been very good. Just squares the ball up beautifully here for Allen and goals.
Well, they're dancing in the aisles. 21-8-9-7. Officially, I guess it's a rout. Not
It's
sure what
official.
I'm not sure what the cut-off point is, but I think it's been a rout for some time. 134-61. Houghton, they like this variation. Well, he's beaten this time by White. By Woden, kicks inside the 50. Neitz goes back, misses the mark. Beaumont doing well and getting better. Bradley at centre half back, unloads down towards half forward. Koutafidis is marked, plays on to Ratton. Ratton hand passes inside the 50. Hickmott, who's done so much hard work this afternoon, grabs some glory, kicks his 4th.
Well, they're probably the 3 or 4 players who were very good in that second quarter to turn it around. Beaumont sensational. Koutafidis, Ratton, they were the 4 keys. Bradley was very good also. Here's Koutafidis sending up another goal here. Ratton was very good. So those 4 players who were involved in that play were very good in that second quarter to clear the game away from Melbourne. So it's good to see him finish the game off also. Hickey with 4 goals.
And Koutafidis has been responsible, I would say, for 7 goals today. He's booted to himself and he's set up directly 5 other goals just with some strength and some marking ability and the ability to feed the ball out. Houghton doing the ruck work. Bradley, Koutafidis with that strength to Ratton. They're pretty strong inside that centre square. They've got a good mix. Panchina goes in there as well. So does Hume. Speak of the devil out towards Bradley. They combine. It's where they've got the run of McKay from half back. It's been great today. Allen, second grab, couldn't take it. No mark. Collins just pumps the ball wide. Free ball. Well, he's had an easy afternoon. Just the 7 possessions, been on the bench. Just might fancy his chances. Hickmott on a lead. That's been ignored. Freeborn. It's a centering kick. Hickmott might be the target. 2 Melbourne players decide not to go for the mark. Leon Chally back to Ingerson. Poor kick. Sets it up to Hume. Goes short and finds the big man himself. Who's been so good today, Matthew Allen. So Melbourne's ability to not kick the ball well under pressure, make mistakes.
Turnovers have been
very
really high.
exposed today by the Demons. But good sides do that to you, Dennis, don't they? They expose weaknesses and
absolutely
inadequacies. coming up for Carlton's 23rd goal of the afternoon. Kicks a goal.
It just shows the versatility of Carlton. Houghton playing in the ruck. Just giving Matthew Allen a bit of a rest. He had a bit of a rest on the interchange bench there, but a poor kick here by the Melbourne player. Kick it out to the boundary line. Angerson just showing tiredness there. No thought process went into that kick, believe me. And made it so easy for Hume to flick it out to Matthew Allen. They've just been bombarded, the Demons back line.
(23-8). Carlton's highest score against Melbourne since round 10 of 86. Houghton taps it down. Plays very tall for a man his size. Leoncelli kicks it towards half court. Beaumont steps in front, takes the mark. Sexton swings it out very wide to Manton. He's got the ball on the wing. Manton looks back towards the middle, finds Bradley. And this is Carlton's greatest winning margin against Melbourne since round 22 of 86. Kick from Bradley. Well, Koutafidis fell over. It was Allen into his back. Ingerson's got the footy in there, and holding the ball is the call. Well, that's an interesting one because the Carlton player, Matthew Allen, I think it was a Koutafidis. Koutafidis who dived in there. Ingerson
50.
concedes 50 now, feeling he was hard done by. He was surrounded by Carlton players. It'll be interesting to watch that one again because there was one Carlton player who jumped in there very quickly and the ball was locked in. It's a question of how earnestly Ingerson was trying to get it out. Carlton's previous best of the MCG, 25-15. It's against Melbourne. Hickmott. Five to that man. 3 of them in the second half. He's up there pressing, I think, for Brownlow votes today. He's been wonderful.
Well,
So 165 is their best ever against Melbourne, so they're within, what, 13 points. We've got 2.5 minutes left in the game, so could be a red letter day for the Blues. Adrian Hickmott played a terrific game in the finals last year, leading into in the preliminary final, leading into the grand final. Adrian Hickmott.
He's got great fitness level. He can run all day.
And has the ability to KO star players as well, as Paul Couch told us early in the day, knocking him out twice.
We admire that in a man.
Playing for the Cats.
I used to like you, Blake.
Just noticed today that Koutafidis has kept out of his way. Ratton to Rice. So good out of the centre square. And there's the man of the moment, Hickmott, to Lappin. Allen's kicked 2 goals in this final term.
Goal square.
He might kick his 3rd. Across the face of goal. And has put it over the line out of bounds.
Hume was in the square by himself.
So still a chance for the Blues, just 30 metres around from goal. And here's the angle, great camera angle by the Channel 7 cameraman. And you can see they're right across the face of goal. Woden never stops trying. He's had a tough ask today to try and pick up Koutafidis. Off hands, Bradley. Always cleans up, the sweeper. Camporelli's been big again today. He's had 4 goals, a lot of possessions. White, the Demons, Farmer. Some pace from Uze on the burst, on the charge, takes him on. A spark for Melbourne. Wobbles the kick forward. Schwartz drops a sitter with strength to Johnson. They're making hard work of it. Very, very hard work of it, the Demons. And this is where Carlton hurt them. Generally on the rebound, so some wasted opportunities. Loose player out wide. Houghton, he'll give it to Bradley, just never stops running. Drops it in short. Hits his target and Lappin.
15 possessions for Bradley in this quarter.
Centre wing, 15 possessions in a quarter. 325 games and Koutafidis.
And 10 for this.
The roar of the crowd. The Kouta man's got it. He'll be shooting from 50. He'll bring down the house if he kicks it. What a kick. He has just missed. Just missed. Today, 32 possessions, 9 marks, 2 goals, 2. And he's set up 5 other goals. And into the final minute of the game, he's still strutting his stuff.
8 times this season, Anthony Koutafidis, 30 possessions or better. Second biggest margin ever for Carlton over Melbourne. It's all happening. Ingerson, Collins decides to run it out and run some clock off. Too many records being set for his liking. Jose gets it across to Phoebe. Matthew Phoebe kicks it out very wide, meets the one-hander. About 30 seconds to go. Meets it half forward, the centering kick. Who to? Rice left it behind, but Carlton running in both directions. You've got to admire that. They're getting back still. Beaumont chips it out wide. Meets again. We're down to 15 seconds. The centering kick. What a mark! It was reflected in the eyes of Powell. Lappin watched those for a while and changed direction in midair. Hume to McKay. McKay bolting around the outer side. The centering kick. Allen's got it on the siren. He will kick after the siren. The official attendance today, 41,889. And Matthew Allen in the spotlight. 2 goals, both in this term. And that's not a bad luxury either. Houghton goes on the ball and Allen goes forward just to mix it up even more. Matthew Allen kicks and gets the goal. Well, how about that? Let's go down to Dipper.
Yeah, thanks very much, Dennis on Beaumont. Terrific game by yourself out here on the half-back line tonight, and also kicked a few goals.
Yeah, it was nice to get down there for one early on, Dip, but no, I mean, the boys are fantastic today. The pressure those guys in the midfield are putting on makes our job down back a lot easier. It gives us encouragement to run.
Everybody's sort of working pretty hard.
I've never seen a Carlton team work like this, you know, probably about the last 5 years, so it's great to be part of.
And to watch Cooter from the back line, it's just awesome, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, he's struggling a bit at the moment, the big two. He's going really well. It's great to see because he's had a couple of quiet years.
Yeah.
It's just awesome to watch at the moment, so it's great.
And yourself on the half-back flank, it looks like you've found yourself in position there.
Yeah, I've had to go down back to get a game this year, Dipper, so...
Nothing wrong with that, I started there. Good on you, mate.
Thanks, Dip. Cheers.
Michael Sexton celebrates game 200, a resounding victory. They win by 98 points. Carlton 25-9. Melbourne languishing 9-7.
Michael, congratulations.